Yo,
What up, man?
what's up, brother?
What's good, man?
Hey, everything.
We were doing the last minute get ready behind the scenes there. We were like flying in by the seat of our whatever we're wearing. And that's the thing. In
See
COVID,
my
you don't know what
sweats.
we're wearing. Yeah, exactly. I'm doing sweats. Yeah, I'm doing
Naked
sweats.
from the shirt down.
Nah, I'm
yeah,
not giving them that visual. I'm not giving them that.
that's just a joke, guys. Just JK.
Yeah, man. But yo, I was doing a school thing from here earlier. Thus the UDC. I'm wearing the same thing, and but now they know, man. Now they know I was in sweats the whole time. So my
Yeah,
university was running a an all faculty meeting, and I run them from on my side, and yeah, man. Now they know I was in sweats. Actually, I don't think too many of them are tuning in, but P.S. Perkins was there, so shout out to P.S. Perkins.
Hey, PS, what's up, girl?
And she's looking for that clip. So you know what I did? I sent her the. I just started the video at the start point,
hmm
and I was like, yo, I think that's all she needed. Just gave her the embed code, and she's good. Speaking of
Yeah,
which,
PS, we're working on that too, getting that all that footage. We have so much data we have to chop up, and I apologize that I wasn't able to get on it,
I
but
apologize. See what you did
interns,
there?
interns, I do, I
I
see that.
apologize. Yeah, but speaking of that though, don't forget we do
Mhm.
have a YouTube page that we do not promote enough.
That
And
is
it just
tinyurl.com/the Pro Quo show. Check my Facebook page. You'll see it there. Share it, subscribe, please.
I've never understood with forward slash and backslash. It's like from what perspective is it forward and backward? You know what I mean? Do you
Or
start
is
from
it is it backslash?
see that's I've always been a little confused in that, and I don't like the name terminology. I think it
Mm.
should be like left to right slash. You know what I mean? It was like left top slash, but it's
Yeah,
always thrown me off. I just don't even go there. I'm just
yeah,
like slash. You'll figure it out. If it's not one way, go the other way. Right? You got two
that's right.
choices.
hmm
Yeah, man. These are the big
And
things, man.
speaking of sweatpants too, bro, I wore jeans for the first time in like 7 months
How'd they fit,
yesterday.
man? How'd they fit? What up,
Don't even
Michael?
talk about that. They were definitely tighter than
Yeah,
normal,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was saying
but
that
you
to
know.
a friend of mine the other day, man. I was saying miraculously with all the COVID weight that I have gained,
hmm
somehow the jean size have still maintained. So I think what
That's
it
great.
is, this is my theory. I was almost down to the next size down. I was wearing them when they were big, kind of,
Yeah,
and I fluctuate between the 32, 33, 34, and now I got some 34s here that are feeling a little snug. So that's. I'm surprised. Once I'm out of that, that's when it's officially like no holds barred. Like if I hit 36, man, it's like,
game
yo,
over.
yeah, I gotta go on a hunger famine or something and just hit the gym. But I've been getting that exercise in, man, a little bit better. Trying to wilt away some of these three chins I got going and get back to 201, and I'll feel okay about myself.
That's a great thing, and I'm starting my journey on that again Monday.
Yeah, yeah,
Just like it's definitely what I've learned from kind of doing this wish-washy thing where you're on point for 7 months and then you break forever and then you're back on it, is taking it real easy in the beginning, and not
yeah,
killing
yeah,
yourself,
yeah.
which I usually do, and then you're like dead for a week because you're so hurt up.
Yep,
So
that's
I'm
the
just gonna
thing.
start with walks, a little jump roping, push-ups, basics, 20 in the morning, 20 in the afternoon, 20 at night, and
Yeah,
build
no
up
doubt.
from there.
I like that Rack City. I like how she has that written. Rack City. That's
Rack
dope.
City.
All right, Q. I got you.
Yeah.
I see you. I see you, Rack City. Michael, what up, man? We just doing what we do, man. Just doing what we do. Yo, what do you think about the week in review, man? In terms of our production and what we've got done, how you feeling this week? I know you were a little under the weather for a while, so
Yeah, I had like a 2 day hiatus, I want to say.
yeah.
It was mainly my back. I did something to my back and it was
Mm.
miserable. I couldn't sleep. I was like tired for like 3 days. I had to call out of work. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
Yeah, on that Monday. I couldn't even walk, dude. It was bad. But yeah, it's still there. I did it like 2 weeks ago, so that kind of put us, back. But that
Mm.
first week I was all right, but past I think it was Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No bueno.
But you found time to get it in though in the
I
studio.
still
I
did.
I
Yeah, I
was like, this
still
guy's
did.
getting it done, man. How you
Yeah.
feel about this week? Do we get some stuff done or what?
Yeah, we definitely accomplished a lot. We the plan for the call, that international call is going to be cool. That Zoom call where we
Yeah.
can get the producers, because it's really we got the MCs on there, Yahweh and my man D Rightway. He'll be dialing in too, and
Right.
mainly the producers, just to, let's say, let's start etching these beats up and make it official, because basically almost everything is at 90%,
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Sounded
I
good,
just
man.
can't wait for
Sounded
Grandma's
good. Yeah.
story to be
Yeah, I was thinking today
grandma.
later when we let people listen to whoa man popping there. We let people listen to one of our tracks. We should let them hear something that'll probably be on album 2. You know what I mean? We don't need to give them
Mm,
any more album 1. Let's album 2 we're gonna forget about. So we
yeah,
gotta hear them a little bit about that. But
that's true.
yo, speaking of time differences, our guest tonight we got Lino from the Floorlords coming in tonight. That's gonna be crazy dope. We have some b-boy representation, which we have actually not really had officially. I mean, we've had people who break here and there, or whatever, but nobody like certified,
Floor Lord.
OG of it of b-boy. Yeah. So, but what's crazy about that is Lino's on a time difference too, because he's out in Hawaii. Yeah, he's not in Boston right now. He's in Hawaii, Hawaii, and so they're on the other side of the time zone. So it's like 3 o'clock for him, and our guest Sunday, not guest for a show, but like you were talking about this international call, we got so many producers from Europe that it's almost 6 hours in the other direction. So it's tricky when you're doing this world, but that's the cool thing about being able to do this, because it sure beats a flight. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
man.
allows it to happen. That's crazy.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm looking
And
forward to Sunday too,
I
man.
don't think of Lino. I'm like, man, I want that. Remember that palm tree background I had when we was doing this in the
Oh
beginning?
yeah, yeah.
That's my oasis right there.
Yeah, man.
So
Well,
I think,
I know it's not all like that over there, but I mean, it's probably not too far where you have to go. But
yeah,
Hawaii's get their issues too. But yeah. But I'm looking forward to Sunday, man. I know you've been putting that together and doing that yeoman's work to get all these. Where are the producers from that'll be on the call for that call?
internationally we have Germany, the
Right.
Netherlands, in two different areas. In the
Yeah.
Netherlands, then we have France,
Right.
and nationally we've got DC, Chicago, Boston, and Mississippi.
Yeah. It's a lot of different time constituencies all
Yeah,
in one call. So that's great. We're gonna do that. We're just gonna try to handle all that, business, get everybody aligned on the instant brotherhood theme. But
yeah.
yeah,
Let's
man,
talk about that. The instant brotherhood theme, man.
you talk about that, man. You
Yeah,
you
let's
you
bring that up.
you talk about that. What is instant brotherhood for people that don't know? For people that are checking in, you're hearing our music. We haven't really broken it down for them. What was your vision about that? And
Yeah, so this was the vision was indirectly brought on by COVID, because it just I started to see life differently, from other people's perspective when I started to see that, especially when families, when I, hearing about families breaking up because the husband and the wife weren't getting along, and like just all that
mm,
negative energy kind of propelled me the other way. Even though
right,
naturally that's where I'm at, it just forced my hand to say, yo, like I need to really lead with what I'm good with, which is, wearing my heart on my sleeve kind of thing.
yeah,
And the beauty of having so many like-minded people came from the energy I put out into the atmosphere all those years, but more importantly, like the recent 10 months, 15 months. And I feel like that energy just started to pull all these people that were just like me. And I was like, yo, we like brothers, like really stories were relating, like, we felt the same wave, on the same wavelength when
right,
we were doing the music, like, and it just really made me feel like, yo, together, treating each other like brothers, how you really would, could change the game for us,
mm,
and
not
it's
enough of that.
beyond music, right? Way beyond music.
Absolutely, yeah.
I was saying, look, if you ain't a father, I was getting that hard. I said, if you ain't a parent, I don't
Mm,
even want to mess with you.
wow.
Like that's kind of how, but
We
I
chill back on that a little.
yeah, cut back on that,
Yeah,
because I was one of those that I'm recently a parent, so how can I do that? But I
yeah.
felt like when you have that character and you become a parent and it builds you up and you're a good parent,
Yeah.
that's key for me. I'm
Oh,
like, yo,
absolutely.
you got
Absolutely.
kids, you a good dad. Like if you're not, then I don't even want, right
Yeah.
there. That's a red flag. You know what I
Dope.
mean?
Dope.
But yeah, so
So
that's the
so
theory.
and that's reflective on a lot of the topics that are on the tracks, because we're talking about fatherhood and well, being husbands or whatever, just trying to be better people in general, as opposed to maybe our previous version of ourselves or
Right,
whatnot. And for
right.
you manifested that just a couple weeks ago, man. So
Mm-hmm.
congrats again on tying the knot. That's
I know.
that's
It's
major.
isn't that cool too? I mean, on the records, like I like how you put that too. I might change it to newly married. You know what I mean? Like the
Oh
little
yeah, as you
things.
say, I'm not married, and to
Yeah,
change
not
it up to
married, but
newly
I'm
married.
rudiment, newly married. You
Yeah,
know, so it's like what I like about that though is kind of time stamping. At that point when I
yeah,
wrote the
absolutely.
rhyme, I wasn't.
Yep.
You know, and
I
then the
say I do the
journey.
same thing up on the Focus's back record. I say
Mm,
I talk about not having any kids and not ever have settled down, and talking about like my parents, my mother's like vision for me, like probably wishing she had grandkids. You know what I'm saying, and that
mm,
that kind of stuff. And so it's crazy when I listen to that too, because I say that in the last verse.
yeah, yeah.
A lot of times when I do it live, I don't get to the last verse. I'll just do like the first verse or the second verse, and then I'm on to a different record kind of thing. But
Hmm.
once in a while I'll do that, depending where I'm in. But yeah, it's exactly what you said. It timestamps it. So yeah, it's a dope concept, man, and it's certainly needed for us. Just even if it wasn't going to go to one person, just for what it's done for us in terms of the therapeutic element of. We're always saying that we tell it to MCs all the time at workshops when we're doing these like writing workshops, or someone's bringing us in to speak or perform, or even just to the show when you get to talk to the audience. I'm always talking about that, right? Like
Hmm.
it's like self-care 101. That people weren't even saying self-care a few years ago. I mean, that's to take it full circle. People didn't even mention that.
Yeah.
Wasn't even a term. And now it's
Hmm.
like, what are you doing for your self-care? And it's like, I've always been doing hip-hop as an MC, and it was like going to the therapist, but you're talking to yourself all the time, and then you're talking to an audience, and it's always been the release for us. So
Yeah.
but to be able to share it, with other people in any little way, man, it's big.
Well, and I think too, for me, I'm the oldest out of all my brothers and sisters, and for everybody else that's involved with this concept, the majority of us are like right there in age. I'm basically older than the majority of them, so we kind of looking like this sideways to side. And then when you came into the picture, it was like I started looking up, like that older brother kind of thing. You know what I
What,
mean?
that much older brother.
Yeah, it's yeah,
Come on, man.
yeah.
It's all good.
Not old
That's
enough to be my dad, which is, I mean, close, but not. You know
right.
what I'm
Hey,
saying?
man.
But it,
At least I got something to hang out on. I got at least like another 7-8 years maybe to catch him.
yeah,
Right.
you know what I mean. So older brother, and that's I think for us, what was for me actually, what really built that strong connection with you because I respect your whole everything about you, the essence of who you are, the way you think, the way that you treat life. It's something that I aspire to hold myself to on
Thanks,
every
man.
level. Yeah, no, and
Yeah.
it's definitely well deserved.
And just even hearing your words, what I'm saying, like when I heard what you were doing, it's funny because the times you were talking about the timestamp, and when I listened to the earlier you before we were working, it's not the skills haven't changed. It's not
Right.
the skills have changed. It's the content and the approach. It's still the same you, but I can hear it so easily. I just hear like two bars, and I'm like, yeah, that's Jay of 2020 right there, and it's the. I think what is for me, like as an observer of you, what it's done for you is it's put you in like it's like you're comfortable with the person that you're projecting, right?
Hmm.
As
Hmm.
opposed to not like you said this is in your wheelhouse. The way you said, just being the true you, and you could
Right.
tell on some of your earlier verses, you were just giving them this much of the layer of you. You know
Right.
what I
I
mean?
can't. My thing was I was going against the grain so much
Mm.
that it started to force me out from a passion standpoint
Yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
because I'm writing this stuff where I mean I could justify every verse that you ever heard me write. I can justify to
Right,
me, but
right.
what's beautiful about the new me is that it's all me. It's really
Yeah.
from the depths of me. I don't have to worry
The
about
deeper you, yeah.
yeah, and I'm focusing on just that and not I have to or because the
It's
industry is doing this type thing, nah.
sometimes I hear people talk about it like, oh, you get more comfortable that way in age or whatever, and
Mm,
because you have kids or something, your opinions change. And for me, it's not even so much of that. Let me connect this two ways, right? It's like
mm,
the what happens is I think the more you find out who you are through the writing process, right? Simultaneously, your skills are developing as well, right? So you watch, we all see that as an MC. We start out, our skills get to a certain point, and then you kind of watch how your peers are, maybe their skills are going up or not, or going the other way, right? And
mm.
so there's an expectation that when someone hears you a year later, you're going to pretty much, I need that pee pop, you're pretty much going to sound the same. For me, I've always tried to make sure I don't. Always tried to like have a little bit of a linear progression. And what happens is like as your skills are climbing, as long as you're working that craft behind the scenes, your confidence, of course, will come too. It isn't so much the life-changing events or whatever. It's just that when you don't have the confidence in your skill or your craft, and I'll be interested to hear about this from Lino as well, on the dance tip, it's like you might not be as willing to share, you know what I'm saying, artistically. You might not, because you don't have the ability to take it there, and you don't have the confidence to actually do that. Like I always say this about you, like you are a Jedi with your skill, right? And you're at that Jedi level, so literally you can say or do anything. And once you get to that point, you don't have to worry about what you did your second year as an MC, because you're worried about how you're going to be perceived. Man, is anyone going to put me in a show? Right. Once you own it and you're like, yo, this is me, this is my zone, and I'm good right here. People can tell, and then they don't need to say, oh man, he didn't talk about selling enough nickel bags in that rhyme for it to be cool. You know what I mean? It's like you don't need those topics. You don't need to be like, yo, let me show them in every third line how thug I am. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that's always been a dilemma, right? Because you go through these evolution steps, and you're trying to do something professional, and it's like what it looked like, right? When I'm in, and I'm halfway through the day, I'm trying to do this professional job, and then as soon as I get out, now I'm right back. Like at some point, you got to be comfortable with those worlds coming together and sort of being your true you, as opposed to trying to hold on to the you that you were at maybe 16 or 18 or whatever the number is, and that's what's hard. And then once you get to that confidence level, and then it sort of it fades away. All that stuff kind of fades away. And I mean, we can see it in this album.
Oh yeah, and we talk about it all the time. But just to reiterate it once more, and what you just said basically is what changed what kind of like maybe was a milestone for me was there was a point where I started to just research people that I was saying are successful in the hip hop industry. Let me just see how they think. Let me see them off of the beat. And I'm watching this Pharrell clip, and this paparazzi trying to get him to answer all these questions. And he's just like, walking by, ignoring them.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you could give one piece of advice to all these aspiring artists, what would that be? And 2 seconds after he said that, he stopped, he turned around, he looked in the camera, he said, be yourself, be original, right? And then walked away.
Yeah. Well, that's his mantra, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And then that and now it stuck with me, but that concept is very tricky because there's so much involved with it. When you think of that, what does that really mean? Well, it starts with you in your daily life.
Yeah, absolutely.
What you do in your daily life. And are you going to make good decisions or are you going to make bad decisions?
Yep.
And really, that's what defines it. And I think once you get a grip on that and you're walking your life the way that you feel you should,
right,
it translates way easier when you're being original on paper.
in every aspect of your life too. It's not just for the MC life. I mean, that's the truth in general. Whether you're walking into a store, a club, a job, a place you've never been before, a different neighborhood, you know what I mean? It's like you talking about people running the statistics on you as soon as your head's down, you know what I mean? I forget how exactly you say it in one of your lines too, but it's that as we know, you know what it looks like when that weak lamb is walking through, an environment with the head down kind of, and you just kind of tell what's going on for sometimes in your evolution, depending even your demeanor and how you come across and all that stuff, But yeah, man, that's dope stuff. Yo, we got some people behind that look like they are ready to hop on in and talk with us.
I think I might know who that is.
Wait a minute. I think I might know who it is too.
Woo!
Oh, yes. Wait. It is Wine and Dine with Kath and Shen.
Oh, hey. Snap. My girls.
All right.
What it is?
See that? That's what I got to deal with.
I got to unmute. Kathy, you good? Can you hear us? There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes,
okay, good. My neighbors upstairs are having a party, so in case you hear bumping, that's what that is.
What?
And my dog barking because she can't handle it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it doesn't feel like we were invited to the party, but last night.
Neither was I, so it's okay.
I was gonna say last night I jumped on live just on my my Facebook, and Quo was at a show. And we went live with that. We were like, Quo was like the roving reporter, and he was at the party. He brought it to us. It was pretty dope. First time I felt like I was in a club in like forever. So even if it's a party upstairs, even that's good right now. You know, like you got to be listening with the cup to the wall or whatever you got to do.
No, it's loud enough. I don't need that.
No.
You should tell them you're about to do some wine and dine, and they should bring it down. You know, bring the party on
girls.
downstairs.
What's up?
What's going on?
How are you guys? What's married life like? Newly married life.
Same old.
Gets me off the hook.
Oh no, Chen, you can continue with that.
Well, you can give them
Same old.
advice. No.
She just loved flashing that ring in the sunlight. She's like,
All right, calm down.
I would
brightness.
though if I had it. So.
I just had to call.
That's how you do it.
And your nails are always on point, forever.
Yes.
Literally.
That's how you do it.
and then baby, that hair be looking real nice too. By the way.
Just got it done.
Yeah.
So let me talk about this show that I went to yesterday, and it could tie into something that Shem might have with us. But I am at the show and everything's good, you know, and they're doing a drag show at the same time as a hip hop show.
Okay.
I'm cool with that. You know, I mean,
Drag shows are fun.
yeah, and I mean,
I've been
Shem-
to a couple. They were different than I thought. They were a little different. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And I mean, Shem be watching it, you know, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, you know. So I was cool with it.
RuPaul's Drag Race, so I've been watching. I got it recorded, and I'm watching it.
I didn't actually know that was a thing until Jay was telling me a little while ago. I was like, okay, I'm not even aware that this is a show. What
I
is
actually
this?
didn't know it was a show either.
Yeah, so we're watching the same thing here. Oh, wait, my diagonal's going the wrong way. Wait, I'm still messing it up. It's so hard. Yeah, was it that person over there? Yeah,
That one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kath and I are watching the same TV. It seems like, but because we are not aware. So tell us, enlighten us.
I'm so
enlighten.
about reality TV because life's boring here. So gotta get up in
I hear you.
somebody else's mix, So it's a drag show, and it's a bunch of dudes. Well, should I say dudes? Oh, well, they're
People.
men, and they dress up, and it's a competition, and they win like $100,000 at the end of it.
What?
I'm like, what? Yeah.
What?
So they have like, so RuPaul's the host.
I can definitely dress up for some drag for $100,000. In fact, we can make that an episode.
All right. And every episode,
I will go off.
They're like doing competitions, and whoever wins that competition in that episode gets like $2,500 plus. If they win, they get $100,000 at the end. Boom.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's entertaining. They got
That's
some
a big number right there.
Makeup skills. Like I need to figure out how they be doing this because I'm like, what? I need to know how to do all
Now,
that.
is
I'll
this,
need to watch that then.
is this something you binge watching? Like they got like tons of episodes
Oh,
already?
they're on like season 10.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Man,
Yeah,
we've been
like
totally in the
13
dark.
Episodes each season. It's crazy, but yeah, that's what I've been watching.
Totally in the dark. Yeah, my wife brought me to like two of them back in the day, and she knew like the whole scene or something. Like she knew a couple people that were in it, and since she'd been a couple times, she was like, "Oh yeah, you got to come." I was like, "What are we going to?" She kind of didn't fully tell me what it was, and I don't know if she was thinking it wasn't gonna, it was gonna chase me. I was like, "Yo, whatever. This would be pretty entertaining," and I ended up knowing her friend who was in it, so it was entertaining is the right word. It was definitely entertaining.
I've been
and
to
they were
one
not getting
before.
$100,000.
Yeah,
They
no,
were
most of the
good.
time. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like reality show. This is why I can't watch reality shows. No disrespect to the people who are on it, or like just give me a show, because the amount of money these people make just to do nothing.
Listen.
Well,
Yeah.
they're obviously doing something. The makeup I can't do, but to do something, can't watch it.
Yo, and the networks are
Makes
saving
me
a ton of
angry.
cash too. It's like they don't have to
Yeah.
pay the megastars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They
Like
they
go
save money.
jump to that couch, and I'll give you
That's a show.
$1,000. It's like what?
It's not much different than how we do it at the Pro Quo show.
That's right.
It's
That's what we're
pretty
prepping
much what
for.
There we go.
Yeah, man. Well, like, we know who the guests are. We know what time it starts.
Yeah.
Pretty much what time it ends. Yeah, a few things in between. Other than that, it's kind of hey,
So
Exactly,
the
not
point
the
being
whole
is that, you know what, as hip hop citizens, we need to support that. It's okay. Don't hate.
Absolutely. So
because
what
when you
happened
do-
at the show though? What happened?
Well,
at the show?
because they had a couple people that
Were not
may-
tolerant.
maybe they wanted to be dressing up and they were just putting their anger out in the fact that they couldn't because
wow.
there was hateration happening and
I
stuff.
see.
shows shutting down almost. And anyway,
I'm sure there was some people that were
over
just hating for hating's sake. They weren't really trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
We've all been in those circles, you know.
Yeah.
So it's
but the show went on, and both shows went on, and it was okay. Everything was good.
Yeah.
No drama.
Mhm.
Definitely some different energies though.
So, Kath, what happened? What happened to you this week? What happened with your family?
Oh my goodness, yes, I'm an auntie.
Congratulations.
Not of one baby, but two.
Dose.
That's dope.
And it's a boy and a girl.
And it's a boy and a girl.
Now that is a situation for wine right there. Champagne.
Yeah.
I mean,
I sent my sister, obviously, a wine glass and her husband a beer glass, and it says because twins.
Wow.
And they were like, we are so ready for this.
Oh yeah, we were talking about it last Saturday. We saw them for a half hour, and I'm like, hey, look, bud.
Yeah.
I'll come over. We'll babysit. Let the girls go out.
Kath said so ready though. It's like, oh, wait. Were they parents before?
No.
So ready is definitely the wrong terminology, right? Because when you get twins dropped, that's like times 2. What?
They don't know what they're in for. Like one is bad enough.
Absolutely.
2 that are infants, she ain't gonna sleep for at least 2 years.
Oh no.
Yeah, infant twins.
No.
If they're not on the same schedule. Oh gosh.
My! And you got.
And you can tell already. I mean their person. I mean they're only literally a day old. Their personalities already
so different.
opposite.
Yeah.
One was ready to go. The other one was like, no.
Oh no.
Stay inside.
Oh no.
So let me throw this to you guys. So when you're watching let's say you just sit back and you're kicking it and you're watching what was it called again? RuPaul's Drag what?
Drag Race.
I see what they did there. All right. So you sit. What is the drink of choice for a show like this? Now, what does that require? What is the mood?
Ooh, I always do wine, so pink Moscato is like.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that would be fun.
That's what I. Yeah.
Sounds great to me as someone who's never drank in my life, but it's like I don't know anything about it. Inform me. It sounds good.
How do you do that? Like, how do you not drink?
It's really easy. It's really, what's funny is like when I go to like a restaurant or something, that I'll be like, oh no, I don't drink, and people immediately look at me and they go, oh, we're sorry. No, they say we're sorry, as if I'm like a recovering, what I'm saying, alcoholic or whatever. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it because that's how non-typical I guess it is. But the easy answer though is I just have like child taste buds. Like I don't like anything that's like adult tasting. Like alcohol, coffee. Like it's just all. I'm like gross. Like to this day, I'm like like I don't wine. I don't get it. It tastes like poison.
It's an acquired taste. Wine is definitely an acquired taste.
Yeah.
I can't do red wine because that's way too dry, and I think I'm allergic to it.
I can't do it either. I instantly get a headache. Very strange. Instant.
So I need a little.
I'm sure I'd join you with that. So.
What you munching on when you watching these shows now?
Well,
I'm trying to
be good,
but
that's right, baby.
I'm trying to be good.
We're both thinking about this answer real carefully.
Very.
Like, do I want to go on the record?
You know what? I normally don't snap. This is such a weird thing. Snap when I drink because I think I'm going to choke and die.
Wow.
So I don't.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a weird
that
thing.
whole drinking alone thing. Too,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, who's going to save me? My dog?
Right.
No.
Right.
Or my cat? No. But I've got...
As if you just forget
popcorn.
Totally how to swallow.
Yeah, you just don't. Yeah, I'm just...
only drink...
Yo, I get the drunk throat.
What is that?
I don't know. That's what I think that is, though.
Oh.
and just to think, and it's definitely in my head. Like then I start eating popcorn. It's the worst.
Popcorn is wonderful.
Kernels. You choke when you're sober. So it's like what?
Why is that the choice?
Anyways, I did recently have popcorn, but it was pretty good. So I'm good.
I have popcorn like all day. Like just
popcorn's great.
What are you having for breakfast?
It's
popcorn.
Too filling. I can't do it.
Filling popcorn?
Filling.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, that's the reason I
How
eat it.
much butter are you putting
it
on it?
No, it's what it is. My jaw just gets tired of chewing so much.
Yeah, when you cook it in the oven on the oven cooker,
it's too much of that.
Wait, do that again.
Get a cat for that. Oh, that's a new intro to the video.
We'll get that. Yeah, when I cook it in the oven though, I don't even use butter. Like I just put olive oil. Yeah, I do like the home. I'm not talking the
Stove?
microwave joint. Like we're very serious about our popcorn here.
That is
So-
serious.
Yeah, and my wife went out. She bought one of those like real poppers. It looks like the old school Jiffy Pop kind of thing
Yeah.
with the
Oh,
aluminum,
that's
but
so
it's a real.
cool.
It's a real one. It's like a real. What's
You
the
probably
word?
don't choke on that popcorn.
Absolutely not. No. And
No.
she the other day gave me the green light to use it. I wasn't sure that I was even able to use it, because I was using the old pot.
Touch it.
Yeah, like I didn't know I was able to. And she was like, I bought that so that we could. And I was like, oh, it's a
For us.
wee thing. I didn't know that. Because normally I'm not so great with some of those things,
Yeah.
But anyways,
Oh,
you
I
put
can
the olive
attest.
oil in there and you pop the, I put a little sea salt on there. I don't add salt to my food either, but I do put it on
Yeah.
My
popcorn. But-
God, we
yeah.
could never hang out.
No, no, it'd be totally. Don't feel any guilt. It's like going to the RuPaul show or the hip hop show. Just don't feel. You know what I mean? It's just like let it roll. Like don't worry about what I mean.
We're gonna put Shen to the challenge because she is a chef by trade.
Yes.
So we're gonna have
Oh,
to
I see.
have
That's
her.
why.
Yeah.
That
Try
was salt.
to.
What? Just salt.
I mean, if I was cooking something like as part
you
of the
gonna put on?
ingredients, but I don't like put any.
After
Just,
the fact.
Not never. Yeah,
I don't
like,
either,
no.
though.
To
I
me,
don't
popcorn just kind of has to have it. But like,
Yeah.
other than that, like I don't. Maybe corn in the summer, I suppose. But I don't. I can't even think of the last time I've done that. But say, again, child taste buds.
Taste buds.
That's it. That's
Killing.
it. That's
Killing
it.
me.
Absolutely.
So, ladies,
awesome.
we definitely appreciate you swinging through as always. If you'd like to hang out, you
Thanks
can.
for
But
having
we,
us as always.
We,
We
have a
always need to wine and
special-
dine over here.
Yes.
Yes,
And dining.
very much. And
Here's to
again,
you.
give the
Cheers.
I almost
Cheers.
thought that was a beer. I was
Cheers.
like,
No, it definitely wasn't.
I
Definitely.
was like, huh?
It is definitely diet caffeine free Coke, which is probably much worse for you than any beer that you can possibly drink.
Mm.
That is an unofficial official quote that I just put out there.
Oh, we should do actually. Before we pull the ladies off real quick, and again, y'all can stick around if you want, jump back in whenever you want. But the most official sponsorship that's not official yet,
Uh-oh.
but could be.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Blow it up.
Flonase.
That right there.
Flonase. Allergy relief. Oh,
That
man.
right there, though.
That's a
That
saver?
works.
Now, for
That
me,
Flonase.
I don't know nothing about this except my pockets, right?
Again, I've never heard of it. I don't even know what it is.
Oh my
Shen, it's helped
Are
Shen
you
out.
living under a damn rock? Like
I don't get out of the house, obviously. It must be like there's a worldwide pandemic or something.
There must be.
Is there? Is there one? Oh, yeah, there is. Yeah, that's,
So-
that's my excuse.
Shen has got seasonal allergies pretty
Yeah,
bad and asthma and all that, and this has helped her out a lot. I've never used it, I never will. But one of these things, man, you go to Walmart. It was how much was it, baby?
at Walmart,
One.
it's like $23.
And then when you
I-
go to
Go to
BJ's,
BJ's.
It looks
BJ's
like
right there.
a spice container. Like, what do you do with it?
put it in your
Yeah.
nose and squirt it.
You put that big thing in your nose?
No, it comes off. Like this cap comes off and it's like a squirty thing up top.
I heard those things are not good for you. I mean, hopefully, if
They
there's
don't look
any-
good for you.
They're like,
Tell-
yeah,
tell
because
my
it's
doctor.
pushing up. It's
Tell my
pushing
doctor.
up, and it's supposed to push out. Like you got to blow it out.
My doctor said it's fine.
All
I'll tell you
right.
what, though. My son takes the stuff, the allergy stuff. What's the allergy stuff called?
Claritin.
Claritin. Oh, my
Allegra.
gosh. I feel like I've spent 3... I mean, he hasn't had it, because we're coming into the season now, and all of a sudden, it's spring.
It's
Yeah.
not-
And,
know,
it's
might
been
have
like
to
6
mention
months
too.
without it. It feels like we've saved enough to go on a vacation,
Yeah.
Like, that stuff is
Bro,
expensive.
and that's the
It
point.
is.
Like, so we got this one at BJ's. So again, at Walmart, what is it, babe?
$23, $22, $23 at BJ's for one.
Wow.
But at BJ's, all three of
Triple.
those, $45. That's it.
Unofficial
Yeah.
sponsorship should be BJ's because they're
Yeah.
amazing.
I think
There
it
you
should
go.
be.
There
I'm
you
with
go.
that.
Just
No,
throw
we
the
gotta make
BJ's
that
right
happen.
up on the screen.
Throw it.
We'll just have to hold the card up or something.
That's it.
I don't
can't
have
hold the
one,
product.
so
Oh, shame on you.
I know, I know. But I mean, I personally am one person. I don't need.
Yeah,
if I
you
had a family,
Yeah.
my family, who we know there's a million of them, they use it on the regular,
They
so
roll.
it makes sense for a big family.
How many brothers and sisters you got? We got like 22 or something like that.
We used to live near the one in Somerville. I would
Craziness.
never really. You in theory, you'd be like, oh yeah, we should go to BJ's, and it was like, I never.
I
went
know,
to
but I
BJ's.
mean, to me, I was like that right there is like.
I'm weird because as much as I don't want to spend on Claritin, you know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like they're just ripping you off for these little tiny things that cost like $15.
Yeah.
That I'd rather drive and pay more money, you know what I'm saying, to go whenever I want instead of like storing stuff in my house. It's just, I don't know, you know, just if I have more space, maybe, I guess. But I'll be like, I don't even want to give them my money right like that. Like I'll be like, how can I get over on this? I know, I'll just buy it when I need it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I won't buy 17. You know, like, did I really need 17 cartons of eggs?
We don't. No.
Yeah. And then when you're only child your whole life, you know, living alone, you know, all that kind of stuff, you just like, I just need what I need, you know?
Yeah.
That's right.
We actually everybody but you, Pro, has a big family. Like I'm the oldest of 5. Jared's the oldest of 4. And then Catherine, Jesus.
I'm one of 5.
I'm like, there's like 7 or 8 of y'all.
Before I killed them all off, we had a big fam. It's just I couldn't deal with them. And, you know, it's all good now. But it's all, you know, I'm better.
All good now.
My son is an only child as well. It's a wonderful life. I was on a call. You know what's funny? The first 4 people who were in this academic thing, the beginning of the show, I was talking about this school meeting we had today. And I was running from the same spot, wearing the same clothes. And which Jay revealed include sweatpants. We were all talking. We all realized we were all only children, and we're like, "Yo, that's so rare."
Wow,
and we're just talking about
rare.
Yeah, because one of them said he was like, "Yo, I'm an only child. I don't got time for that stuff." And I was like, "Yo, exactly.
I get it."
You should bring them all on the show. Have a only child show.
That's a good idea, Calf. Look at that.
I'm totally not spoiled. Like that whole spoiled thing is not. I'm like, I just don't want to be bothered by anyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want someone to. But can you come with us? Like, no. I just want to.
No, baby.
Let me go to the movies by myself or one person max. You know, like.
Facts.
Good. Let me go to the restaurant by myself or one person with me. That's the limit. You know, start bringing 4 or 5 people. I'm like, it's too loud.
Too much noise.
Yeah.
Shen feels like an only child.
Yes.
But she isn't.
Why do you feel like an only child?
Because me and my sister are 6 years apart. And then
okay.
From my sister down,
that's all right.
Like 2 to 3 years apart. So I was like,
so
you were spoiled for a while.
Yeah.
You probably still are.
Loved it. And then the funniest
Jay.
I know, right? The funniest thing is that we have an almost 11-year-old, and then now we have a 3-year-old. So they're like 7, 8 years old too. So it's like it just carried down. I thought she was going to be the only one child. I was like, yes, only child for me. Yeah,
she thought. I tricked her.
Yeah, you got the Vino side of these genes. We just pop out kids left and right.
But yeah,
that's too much.
I liked it. It was nice for those 6 years.
While it lasted.
Right. While it lasted. No, like, what? I got a sister. No, I don't want one.
I never was alone.
Yeah,
never.
Ever.
It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much.
I was trying to read what Don Juan Mac wrote. He said, "YRT, you're partying?" I don't know what he meant by that. Reading some of these comments. What up, Fee?
Hey, Fee, what's up,
JV
brother?
Mac? Michael, I saw your comments.
Oh, Mike, what's up, brother? Appreciate you tuning in.
Translate that, Don Juan. You're gonna have to tell Don Juan's gonna have to break that down for me. Maybe he was referring back to when you guys were talking about partying or something, but I don't know. Oh, he was talking about the upstairs people. Maybe it was why aren't you partying? Yeah, that's puzzle solver. All right. I couldn't figure that out. I was like, what is that? It's like it's totally lost. Don't you dislike that when you're texting somebody and they just make you feel stupid? You know, they're like, I just don't understand what you're saying, and it's like, okay, the word was like, you know, like telephone, you know, and it's missing like an E, and it says telephone, and it's like, did you mean telephone? Like, no, I meant trumpet. Of course, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop, you know?
That's
like,
my life when I'm reading texts from my mother, because she
has
an accent.
Oh, my mother does not use punctuation to save her life. Yeah.
So my mom's from the Caribbean, and she talks the way she texts. So I'm like,
mine too, and she's from Lowell, and she's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just comma, maybe. You might get one here and there.
I feel stupid because I'm like, wait, she's missing some words, but I gotta read this again. What? Okay, I figured that out. She's missing 3 words, but I figured it out. She's like, I'm coming now. I'm like, that's not what you text though. Like, what?
JV Mac. Okay, old comment. Why isn't Catherine partying upstairs? That's it.
There
Tight
you
and fast.
go.
The end was stuck. Yeah. Nah, I got you.
Because I hate people. No, I'm just kidding.
You killed them all
You're
too.
not
That's
kidding.
what
I killed them off, yeah.
Now we know why you live alone. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Exactly. And I have a killer dog.
Yo, enjoy
So.
it. Enjoy it. Yo, did you say killer dog? Is that what you said?
Dog.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said job. I was like, how does that? I was like, cool. I mean, I like mine. You know, I was like we all employed. You know,
Yeah.
We're all employed.
she's like, I'm alone and I love my job. Okay. No judgment. No
That is
judgment.
funny.
I wish I could say that. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, so you don't like your job?
No, I do. I do like my job.
All right. What do you do? Are we sharing?
I work
Is
in
this a sharing
healthcare.
moment?
Yeah, I work
Healthcare.
in healthcare. So
That's tough these days, though, right?
yeah, so it's virtual healthcare is the platform I'm in. So this obviously with COVID, it worked really well.
Yeah.
People had access to do that, so it's been busy.
Wow, I'm sure.
But helpful people, they can stay home.
JV
doctors.
Mac, killer job gets you administrative leave. Yes, yes, indeed,
That's right.
indeed. Yo, thanks for coming through, y'all. It was
Thank you
a
for
lot of
having
fun. We
us.
could talk to y'all forever, but yo,
Seriously.
stay around and check out my man Lino coming up. We're gonna bring him in a second, and yo, he's got wisdom, yo, wisdom.
Okay.
Love you, ladies. We'll see
All
you.
All
right,
right,
thanks
you
for coming through.
guys.
See
Thank
y'all.
you.
No doubt.
Peace.
Wine and dine.
Wine and
Kath
dine.
and
That
Shen.
was a fun segment.
That's a lot of 4-letter words. Wine, dine, Kath, Shen.
Yeah.
It was just playing with me the whole time. I was like, wine, dine, Kath, Shen. Okay, I like it. We got to do something with that. Wine, dine. I see it. I see the logo.
Get the vision. That's all that matters,
It's
bro.
gonna be wine, dine, Kath, Shen.
There you go.
They should have a restaurant called Kath Shen.
I know. I talked to my girl. She was like, I would do a food truck, with the restaurants, because you gotta like. Yeah, it's the whole.
I'm not
process.
claustrophobic, but I would be if I had to rock a food truck, man. That's
Yeah.
oof, I couldn't do that. Couldn't do that.
It's
Like I
tough.
said, it'd be dealing with too many people.
Yo, the restaurant. Oh, look at Cap saying, "Shen, I'm down with the food truck." It's like when you run a restaurant, that's your life. Like I've known people that have done it, and I'm like, man, you live there.
You gotta
And
hustle.
it's cool. Yeah, that's your thing. But for me, I wouldn't want my girl to have to, unless she was like super about it. And I feel
up,
like
Dialect?
that would take away. But Dialect, what's up, brother?
Yo, this food trucks. I work in DC, right where I work. Right, well, I work at a couple different places, depending on what campus I'm at. But the main one that I'm at, CNN is behind our building, the actual CNN DC office, right?
Yes,
and so
it is.
all our food trucks they congregate right there, right? The Department of Education's there, us, the CNN, right? They are like 9 food trucks in a row, like every day. I'll hit them up once in a while, but it's so packed, people going to those food
guy
trucks
like
more
you
than the
watch
restaurants.
guys grocery game kind of thing, like when he does the wine. What is it? No, diners, drive-ins, and dines, or whatever like that.
Yeah.
That's what we would do. We'll search for like, there's a food
I don't like
truck
watching
or
him chew his
restaurant.
food. I know people like that, but I just find him to be a slob, and he's just like,
Gross.
oh, it's so good. I'm like, come on, dude. You know what I mean? And, like, I get it, but do you really have to? It's like they have to talk while they're eating to make it authentic.
Oh yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly.
It's like, go take that in your red Corvette and go, or whatever it is he drives. I know he drives something like that, right? Blue?
Oh yeah, it's a red. I think it's a red one.
Yeah.
It might be. Yeah.
But I do like watching the restaurants that he goes to.
Yeah, man. We went to one in the Ville actually. I have to ask Shen next time, but it was they had
Kelly's, the diner. He went to Kelly's, right?
It wasn't.
We used to go to Kelly's every weekend.
It wasn't Kelly.
Shout out to Kelly's. They should
I
be
can't
doing
remember,
it
but they had great food, man. I was, he rated it. We went there. We're like, let's go check it out. It was, high end, but it was great.
Oh,
man.
that's definitely not Kelly's. Kelly's is the diner, like from the old.
Yeah, the roast beef. Kelly's roast beef. You thought?
No. Kelly's is right in like over by Ball Square there. It's like
okay.
right off the Broadway.
Yeah, I think I remember you telling me about that too. You're like,
Yeah.
go there and check that out. Yeah.
They're one of those places where they're almost rude to you on purpose. You know what I'm saying? A few of them are just like, here you go. And then others are like, oh, hello, we love you. So you never know what you're going to get.
You're right.
Yo, enough of that. We got to get Lino in here, man.
Yeah,
So,
man. Let's get Lino. Let's
try
to
get Lino up in here. We're going to knock on the door. I think, Jay, you want to try knocking on the door?
I
See if
could do a
it'll
knock.
make him come through. Try to do a knock.
Ready? That's the weakest.
It worked.
knock.
Yo.
Lino.
What up, y'all? What's going down?
What's up, brother?
is, sir. A long time. Well, not a long time no see, because I saw you before you came in, and we've talked on the phone, but in person, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's been too long, man. How are you?
It's the COVID thing. It's a COVID thing.
Sure is, my man.
Get over to Hawaii too. You got to come here.
Tell us about Hawaii, man. Let us know. We want to live vicariously through you. What is that like?
Oh, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful out here. It's we're doing all right, you know. COVID didn't really hit too hard here, but I still stay in the house. I don't try to like get out there too much. You know? But I go to the beach a lot, you know. I go hiking.
Absolutely.
Here and there.
Well, how close are you to the beach? Are you like right on it?
I'm like probably like 5 minutes to one.
What? Okay, so you really living that life. Okay, you really.
You know, how long you been there, dude?
Like,
yeah, I think for a lot of people they don't know. I'm sorry.
I talked to my homie today. I don't know if you remember Mad Soul.
Oh, of course, man. Yeah, of course I know Mad Soul.
I talked to him today, and he was like talking like he wants to meet up. He's trying to do like this.
Shout out, Fritz.
Documentary. Yeah, he wants to do a documentary about dance. You know, Boston dance in the '90s.
Yeah, man.
We were kicking it, and we're like talking, and my other homie Chris Barnes was on it. You know Chris too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we were all talking, you know, and he's like, "Yeah, Lean, so I'm gonna come see you." So I'm like, "Cool," you know. And my man Chris is like, "Oh, you going to Hawaii?" He's like,
what are you dipping? Yo, I talked over you. How many years did you say it was? 4 or 5? What'd you say?
6 years.
6 years. Yo, that's great. Yeah, most people, man, have no idea. Yo, I know people watch this show and they hit me up all the time and they're like, yo, I'll catch you. Same thing. They're trying to hit me in Boston, you know? And I'm like, yo, and I've only been out here 3. I've been out here 3 years, you know? Yeah, it's like 6, man. People gotta recognize. They gotta be like, yo, where'd Lino go?
But you know, the thing about it is I used to go back at the beginning like twice a year.
Right. Me too.
So like Christmas, and we do our anniversary every year. You know,
that's dope.
Was the first year that we didn't do it, so ever since I've been here.
What number are we on for Floorlords?
40th anniversary.
40th anniversary of Floorlords. Yo, that's insane. That is crazy, man. Yo, people, a lot of people that'll be checking in, or people that'll be watching this again tomorrow. We get a lot of people watch this the day after. The Day After Pill, an unofficial official sponsor. Yo, break it down. Break it down for us if you can, man. The history of the Floorlords. I know you're a co-founder of it. Like how it started, what it's about, and how it's lasted so long.
Oh man, we just started in the early 1981. We kind of just came together as just like friends, you know. Just people who just used to come out and dance all the time and at block parties, at community center parties, skating rink parties.
Right.
You know, and my brother has started a group called the New York Puppeteers. I'm originally from New York. And this other group called MBT, which was Massachusetts Break Team. So the New York Puppeteers were more like talent shows. We did a lot of talent shows. So we used to have like choreographed routines, popping routines. That's the robotic type of dance. Yes, and then, you know, we were breaking too, but that wasn't a popular dance.
Right.
It was more popping was the popular dance because it was on Soul Train.
That's right.
So we ended up just meeting with them at an audition, like 81. And they just was like cool, and then we went and hung out after the audition, and we went to Park Street Station, and they made like they used to dance in the street. That's what they did. They didn't really have routines. They just danced in the street. Actually at the train station, at Faneuil Hall, at State Street, Braintree Mall.
Yep.
The Logan Airport, those were all their spots. So, but they invited us to come with them. It was like 5 of them. I think it was Tron, Cisco, Mad.
Shout out to Tron.
This kid named Super Steve. This other guy, Gumby. So we ended up, that was his name. So we ended up going to the Park Street Station, and like 10 minutes they made like $50 a piece.
Word. Back then.
So we were like, holy shit.
I was like 300 back then.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, but that ain't even the thing. Like that was in 10 minutes. So we were like, oh shit, we want to do that. So we ended up doing that. So we ended up making like $250 a day. That's what we used to make a day.
Wow.
Dancing the street. And for a few hours.
Those are jug numbers back then. Yeah.
Dude, back then that was a day.
Yeah.
Saying so we was down there every day, 7 days a week. I grew up, my mom's didn't have no money. She couldn't afford, to buy me what I wanted. So, we was every day we was buying
it out. Yeah.
Buying sneakers, McDonald's, which is so crazy. McDonald's, clothes.
No, it ain't. Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna get what you never got, man. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna drop it on McDonald's, man. I'm gonna get some checks and man.
So I mean, that's how we lived, kind of like that, man. Just every day, man, and that's how we came together. Then some of the members in MBT started breaking off. Mm-hmm. My brother started breaking off too. Him and my other partner, Tony Mosby. Basically, they started hanging out. They started making money. So they started hanging around my neighborhood, hanging out, drinking, smoking. And I was just more about the money. I didn't really care about, and it wasn't that I was about the money. It was about staying away from my neighborhood too.
Yeah.
So it was better for me to stay away from my neighborhood, be able to make some money. My neighborhood, I live on Hammond Street, which is 2 streets away from Lenox Street, where everybody hung out.
Yeah.
Lenox Street, Hammond Street, Tremont Street were like super just drug infested areas.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I was just like, man, all I saw was people, getting stabbed, shot, people, just hooked on drugs, So I was just like, why go around there when I could just stay here, downtown Boston, make my money, go home, at night, go to bed, do the same thing. So I think that's what kind of kept me away from just that environment,
Now, when you guys first formed, that's crazy, man. By the way, the first time I actually heard that from you. When y'all started out, when did opportunities to take that sort of show on the road emerge for you?
Man, the craziest thing is we were dancing out in the street, and then we started booking shows. Like Cisco and Mad. These guys were just amazing. Just they could talk their ways into anything. I'll get into some more of that, but we started doing shows right from the street. Like people started hiring us. Our first show was at the Holiday Inn together. Was at the Holiday Inn. It was a paid show in Randolph.
Wow.
Some guy just came up to us and was just like, hey, I'm looking for some dancers for my wedding.
Wow.
Hold on one second.
And y'all were like, yo, we hit it big finally. This is our big break.
That's it.
Nah, we were just like, whatever, how much you paying?
Yeah, right.
I wasn't involved with that part because I wasn't really running the crew. I was more the quiet. I was kind of like the one, because what I did was I brought the dance routines, the choreography to the group.
Yep.
So I was more the quiet one. Like they were the older ones, so they were handling all that. So we ended up going to do that show right after we just finished making like $250, and it was probably like about 5. I think we all walked away with like $100 a piece. And that was just our first show. And then, we were still out in the street making our money. And then, other people started asking us to do shows, and they started saying, hey, we'll pay you this. And we were like, hell no, like, this is what we get paid for a show. And they were like, well, we can see you for $1 out in the street. How can we pay this?
Not at your wedding.
So we stopped. We stopped doing shows in the street. That's what kind of stopped us from doing shows in the street, taking it more serious. So then we started doing shows for. We had one of the guys in our group, Domino, rest in peace.
Domino, yeah, rest in
peace.
Yeah,
he actually had a cousin who had he was a promoter basically. So he used to bring like all the rap groups to Boston. Actually to Brockton, Stoughton, all those areas. So we We
Yeah.
started doing shows with like I forgot, like so many rappers like Rakim, Eric B and Rakim. Oh man, I can't even think. So many different rappers.
Yeah.
We did shows with everybody back then, and he brought everybody. So we started doing shows with all those rappers, and then we started doing more shows in Boston. Um, and that's how we really got into doing shows.
So how would it go down? Would it be y'all would do your own routine, or do you mean dancing for the MCs?
Yeah. We would do our own routines. The first rap group we ever danced for was we did a show one time with that back then. It was actually a little bit later. It's like 80 something. We did a show with TDS Mob.
No doubt.
That was our first
Scratch reaction.
Yep. To that.
What's this world coming to?
We performed with them. We did our first show with them, and then we started doing shows.
Shout out to Jesus.
That where the hell was that at? What's the name of that skating rink in I can't forget.
Not Chez Vous.
Chez Vous, yeah.
Chez Vous, okay. Yeah.
Wow.
That was with
You really have been gone a while, man. It's been 6 years, man. That's right.
Yeah, but I haven't really been.
Nah, I know when you ain't in it, it's like yo. It's like,
yeah. De La Soul, and I think it was some other. Might have been Queen Latifah or something.
Wow.
Lino, when did you like find out that you had the gift? You know what I mean? Like, when did you realize it and start like falling in love with it?
Man, the craziest thing was like I always had I was really into other things. And the first time I ever fell in love with it was with my brother. I was into BMX bikes, and my brother wanted me to join that group because I used to go to all the block parties on my bike and go in the little circles and dance with everybody. Me and him grew up together dancing, but he kind of took it more serious. My brother Nas was like anything he touched, he was just really amazing at it. So it was like for me, I had to compete against someone who was just like super good. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like the best at that time. He was the best. He touched everything he touched. He was really good at. Like he started rapping. He would rap in Spanish and English. He was an amazing DJ, an amazing graffiti artist or writer. You know what I'm saying? Everything he just touched, man, he was just so good. So I was in competition with him all the time. Bikes was the only thing I wasn't in competition with him. So basically what happened was I ended up they ended up calling me one winter time where I couldn't go ride my bike. It was mad snow to do a show with them. And I went and did this show with them. I did a talent show. And, we worked hard for like 2 weeks. We get on the stage, we perform. And this is where I fell in love was it was probably like around 500 people in the crowd. And as soon as we started dancing, like the crowd just started going crazy. And they just started going real crazy. And I was just like, oh shit, this is amazing right now. I had on some glasses so they couldn't really see me. So we just really killed that show. And then after that show, there was about maybe like 800 people outside because there was people outside that couldn't get in. And then we started walking home. We had this big trophy, and man, all of a sudden these guys try to take our trophy, like these gangsters from our neighborhood trying to rob us for our trophy because there was another dance group called Chain Reaction who was in that competition, who was from my same neighborhood, and those were like their kind of like brothers, their older cousins or friends, you know what I'm saying? And we really didn't have like that relationship around that area because we came from a different area. The people who inspired us was another group called the Funk Effects from Dorchester, which was the first place I moved when I moved from New York was in Dorchester. So that's who kind of like who inspired us to dance. You know what I'm saying? And then my brother kind of took it to the next level, and then he started the group. So that was when I got my first love, and that was like 1980.
That's crazy.
Yeah, for real.
Now Edo was dancing on the scene too back then, right?
Yeah, like Edo started dancing like 1980. Like he was down with a crew called GMC, Grandmaster Crew. We used to battle them, too. Yeah, that was like a little bit later in the breaking days. That was like maybe like 82, 83, 84.
Speaking of the breaking days, that's what I wanted to ask you. So, would you say, especially for people that don't follow dance in any way, would you say there was a golden era? And if so, was there a different golden era in terms of like for Boston or Mass in general? Like was like an apex? And last piece of that, how is it compared now? Would you say it's bigger, less popular?
I don't think it was ever a golden era, because it went from levels, like a level where we kind of like didn't know what the hell we were doing, to kind of like understanding the dance, you know what I'm saying? Then finally realizing what the dance was, and then like I mean, like my biggest I think thing for my biggest part, you know what I'm saying, that I think is when we ended up battling the group that was like our rival, you know what I'm saying? That was our accolades, I think, when we battled Unique Dominoes, because they were a little older than us, and we would go head to head all the time, at all the community center parties, all the block parties, just walking down the street, like they would call us out. I would be dancing downtown and one of the members would call me out. So we had just this crazy rivalry, and it was vice versa. Like we seen them at clubs, we called them out. So it was very like it was a crazy time, but that was like there's actually a video that's out right now. It's on my YouTube, but we actually battled them and we actually won that battle. So I think that was like one of the best times of my life. I think it was like 1985.
Wow.
Just to be able to prove to the city, because the whole city was there.
You had it on video. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on video.
Someone out there with the big shoulder unit, right?
Yeah, like, some big TV shit. Some big
That's dope.
Actually, dope. It's what's the name of that guy from UMass? Is the hip hop
Pacey Foster?
Yeah, Pacey Foster got it. It's on their website.
He's got everything, man. Yeah, shout out to
he
Pacey.
has it, man. I'm actually working on a documentary for our group, because like from that time, like we were still dancing, but 1986, 87, breaking kind of died, and we were still doing shows to like 1987, and then breaking had just totally died. Nobody wanted to see it in the clubs no more. We would get into fights all the time in the clubs.
You're doing a windmill, hit someone in the head, and that doesn't go over well.
Nah, it was just like dudes would just get jealous. Like at that time, it was like people were just throwing water on the floor.
What were the spots? What were the spots back then that you went to? Like, was this like
Narcissus?
No, I was just gonna say, was this Narcissus
Metro,
before they shut down? Yeah.
Venus de Marlo.
Venus de Marlo, yeah. Roxy. Axis, yeah.
The Roxy,
not so much.
Roxy, not so much the Roxy, because you had to get dressed up to go to Roxy.
Yeah, get real fly to get in there. Yeah.
And we didn't want to go in there and break. I mean, where else, man? It was
the
other
Hub Club. Remember that spot? The Hub
Club. Yeah, the Hub. Actually, no, the Hub Club came a little later.
Like 90.
Yeah, that was a little later. Came a little later. What else?
Fee and I lost some money.
Channel.
Shout out to Manos.
The Channel.
The Channel. Yes, there we go.
And then
the Rathskeller.
We used to go out to New Hampshire Club 4. Was it something like that? Brothers 4. We went to
what was the other one out there? It was Bahama Beach Club. Was that what
Bahama
it was?
Beach Club,
Beach Club. Yeah.
Actually, and there was another one we used to go to in Saugus, which was the Gentlemen's Club. What they call that?
Oh yeah. I just forgot, man. Totally.
It hasn't been there in years.
Maybe we're thinking the wrong spot. Maybe I'm not thinking the wrong spot, because I was thinking of Randolph. I was thinking of Vincent's. Not a Gentleman's Club. When you said Gentleman's, I was like, maybe not.
No, but that was the name of it. But it was, I forgot the name of it. The Palace.
Palace, yeah.
Palace. That was the name
Oh
of the
man,
college.
the Officers Club, yo.
Officers Club. Yep, they
Remember
had
that?
different
Yo.
clubs. Yeah, they had a bunch of different clubs in
That
there.
was the spot. You go in
Yeah, we used to
Pachanga
go
Latina
there.
on the other side. Yeah, man.
Yep, they used to have a bunch of different clubs in there, and we used to always get into fights in there.
Now, would you guys just roll up in there for free? They'd be like, "Here's the Floorlords. We're gonna let them in," or did they give you that kind of respect, or was it sometimes they're trying to? I know they always trying to charge. You know?
Well, we had a friend of ours. His name was Big Nick, and he was like this big Italian like dude who was like he would always let us in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And when we would get into fights, we probably didn't even have to fight because he would come in and start smacking people up. You know,
Yeah.
like.
But I mean, to a club, it must. You know, you don't necessarily know it at the time, but to a club, it's a big deal having like a whole slew of b-boys come up in the club, and that's people gonna talk about that and come back. You know, you're actually putting them on.
A lot of it happened because we had a lot of knuckleheads too in the group who would do dumb shit too. Like, so I mean, they always was messing with other guys' girls or shit like that. So
Yeah.
came down to that too. So we weren't like
Yeah.
just the total happy. Like our crew was kind of like a wild crew too.
Yeah. Well, I had to ask you this too. So I know, for people that don't know you, I mean, you got your fam in this game now, right? And so that they're hard in this game. So what was that like? Having your son and extended fam as well. Like how has that been, and how do you ease them into this kind of culture? And
it's real crazy because my son so. We'll knock it back down to all right. So 1987, we had to change our whole. We had to basically adapt to the new hip hop style.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up doing the new style of the hip hop dance, mixing it with breaking. So I had my son in 88. So 2 years passed by. My son is watching us. We're still doing shows. My son is watching us on tape. So he ends up wanting to dance. So 2.5.
Of course,
he's like dancing all over the place. He's like dancing. So the craziest story is our first show. We had this show at the school, and we used to do like these long shows, like maybe 20-minute shows.
Mm-hmm.
We would do these clothing changes. We would change our clothes.
That was the thing, man. That was
the thing. You know what I'm saying? It was like 20 minutes. We would switch clothes. So what happened was, we would have certain people do the shows with us. Like I had 2 nephews that would come do shows with us. They were like 6 at the time, but they couldn't get off school that day. So they would come and dance for like 2 minutes in the middle of that change, and then we would come. So they couldn't get out of school that day because it was early in the daytime. So we ended up having my son do the show with us. So my son would dance forever. He would dance for like 5 minutes straight. So he's like, all right, he'll take up that 2 minutes quick. And
he's like, what, 3 years old at this time? How old?
Yeah, he's about 2.5, 3 years. So we let him go out, So we told him, you're going to come out right here. We gave him his favorite song, what he loved to dance to. So what happened was we went to go get changed. He heard his song. We sent him out. He just went out and started just flopping all over the floor, dancing. The crowd started going crazy.
Going nuts, right?
They're going crazy. So we changed.
They didn't want you to come back.
So we're like calling him to come back, and he's just staying out there. We're like, no, come back. And back then we used to have routines that were set to the music. So we had a buddy of ours. So our buddy of ours went and just, we were like, yo, you got to grab him because he's about to mess up our show.
Right.
My buddy ran across stage, grabbed him, and then we came out to the song. But it was just nuts. And now, he's like a producer, man. He still dances. He lives in LA. He dances all the time. Like he's a part of another group. He does the same thing I was doing in Boston and I'm doing here. Like he does a lot of just charity work for a lot of different organizations.
Right.
Same thing I was doing back home, man. He just kind of followed up and he's doing the same thing. But he produces tons of music for Red Bull. Like he's like the main producer for a lot of different events all around the world. Like
that's real hot.
The world like 6-7 times. He's like one of the premier like breakbeat DJs for all the big events all around the world.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Dope. Yeah, that's dope. I know he's been doing his thing, man. So that's...
DJ Lean Rock, look him up.
Sir.
He's got a lot of music on. I mean, his music got millions of hits. Like he's he's definitely doing his thing. You know, he's like doing his thing. I'm really happy about him.
Now, will he do shows and he's out there dancing and DJing?
Yeah, he's out there dancing and DJing.
How about you DJing for him dancing? Has that happened yet? Because I know you spin too.
Of course,
yeah.
He does it for us too.
All right, that's hot. So you'll dance and he'll spin. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, for sure, man.
That's hot.
He spins all of our events, man. You know, when we go back home, like we still connect. Like me, him, my nephew, who now runs the group. He took over it 6 years ago. He's another one who's world renowned, B-boy El Nino. Like
absolutely.
He's like worldwide, known all over the world.
Yep.
Won numerous competitions, world competitions.
He's a crazy skill, man. Crazy skill.
You know what I wanted to ask Lino too is like, what's cool about b-boying and all that is how closely tied it is to the hip hop music. You know what I mean? And for in my young eyes, I guess when it comes down to it, b-boying had that breakdancing era. Like I guess we were trying to confirm golden era, but there was a period in time before it was just like straight up. That's what it was prior to like crumping and all these new dance techniques. So I know for me as a hip hop artist, like when it started to evolve, I might have had a little hate in me because I'm like, yo, what's this? You know what I mean? Like I'm not used to this. Versus I'm wondering for a b-boy, was it like, oh, this is cool, I'm gonna challenge it, or did you feel the same way as us when the music started to change and you're like, yo,
kind of, but the thing about us was we always like we created our own lane. So let's say in like 95, so we were dancing, we were continuous dancing. In 95, we started like getting all these tapes from like Europe, so it was huge in Europe. Things was like hip hop, the whole, like all the elements of hip hop, like to the next level in Europe. You know what I'm saying? Like they basically lived the hip hop life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have everything out in Europe. They understand the elements of hip hop. So we started getting all these tapes. So we started, we were kind of like mixing hip hop, house dance, freestyle dance, you know what I'm saying? Like freestyle dance and freestyle music. And then all of a sudden, one of the guys in our group actually the guy who ran our group, Cisco, ended up leaving the group. So I ended up taking over the group, and I just kind of like said, you know what? We ain't going to do no more of this shit. We just going to be B-boys. B-boys. We're going to just do this shit how we do it. So we started dancing to our own music. But by that time, we already had a name. Like we already had since the 80s, we already had built up our name. So the 90s was kind of easy for us to just continue to do what we do. And then it was like a resurgence of breaking was coming back. And then we started inspiring more breakers, back home in Boston.
Yeah.
And then we started connecting with a lot of B-boys in New York and started coming back. And then all the different cities, LA, really never really died in LA either. It was like still like they were just breaking, but they were breaking at raves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it kind of they kind of switched off and went, but then once we started connecting it, some of the people from LA started traveling to New York. We all started connecting in New York. Then they started bringing it back, you know what I'm saying, to the rawness back in LA, and all that, and all the elements started connecting.
For me, it was honestly it was dance that really got me excited about hip hop, even before the MCing. Like you would just see people dancing, and the excitement and the crowds. It wasn't MCs, at that early time. It was the dancers, So you see these dancers, and like you said, popping for me was just amazing. When popping started, I was just like, yo, I gotta figure out how to do some of this, like just get the little, whatever, and moonwalk, whatever it was. That was the first thing, really. And for me, I don't remember exactly how I first met you. I was trying to think about it when you were talking, but I know that I think what it is, and I'm just going to lead to a question too, is being from Lowell, in our area, I knew Chicky, and then from him I met Tron. Right, Tron. Obviously, I've known them for years, and so Tron and Shallow they were doing the something different thing at the time, and I remember Tron and Shallow. Shout out to them, by the way. They were like, yo, every other word was like Floorlords this, Floorlords that, and I was like, yo, who are the Floorlords? You know, because being up there, it was like just getting into it at that time. I mean, for me, that was probably like, I'm saying this is probably like 88, 89, you know, and 90, 91 when we started doing a lot of shows together. And I was like, yo, I gotta see these Floorlords cats. And then I remember meeting you at one of these events, and I was like, oh, that's Lino. So what this leads to my question. What I wanted to ask is, obviously, I know Tron, you know, his history goes back. You cited them really early, and to me, Tron and Shallow's routines were crazy. They would, you know, we'd dance we'd rap, they'd dance, that kind of stuff. All these shows. What has been the amalgamation of like the Floorlords? Like, how many people totally have been in Floorlords?
And so many generations.
That's I'm unclear on all that. So maybe you can break some of that down.
I mean, I can't even.
It's that heavy like that. Okay.
I mean, that was like me, like, you know, because I was really good with working with kids.
Yep.
So I mean, like I was the one who put Shallow in the group. You know what I'm saying? Like Shallow wasn't in the first.
That's what he wasn't in the first incarnation, right?
Nah, he wasn't in the first crew.
He was nasty. I remember his young days, man. Even still, you know, you see him.
Yeah. He was, you know. So I was kind of like the one building, like. So my part was always like community, like Cisco and Mad's part was always like going to book the shows. So I was kind of like the one who was like making up the routines.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I had also back then. And you'll see it on that tape if you ever get to see that battle that we had. We had our own group, but I also had a Floorlords too, which was a bunch of little kids that were like 13, 14 years old.
Yeah, I knew there's something like that going on.
Actually, they were like even younger than that. Right. So you know what I'm saying? So some of them were like 13. Like the oldest one was probably like 14, but it was like 14 to like 11 or 10 or something.
Yeah,
like
it makes to me. It reminds me of like Lil Funk, you know. And I know you guys did a lot.
So I always had like a bunch of little kids that I taught.
Right.
So once like another member kind of like left, I always had one to put in the group. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I kept the group going. Then once all the older members started leaving, Tron and them ended up starting something different.
Yeah. And they were like, yo, you gotta meet Float, and you gotta meet all these cats. And I was like, yo,
so we ended up basically.
Shout out to Jeremy Rossi, by the way.
You know, then my family members, you know what I'm saying? Just different people just started just growing into the family. I had my nephews after the Floorlords too. Like that whole thing dissolved, and it was like, I think it was like 3 members of our crew still doing shows. And it was like my nephews, they came in. Then, you know, we ended up getting some other older members, you know what I'm saying? And some
multi-generational.
Yeah, then we started growing, man. We go back about, now it's a whole different generation. Now, you know, the only one who's running it is like my nephew. He's already been dancing since he was 20, he's 20 something years already. He's been dancing like 24 years.
That's crazy, man.
You know, and he's just been doing it with us, like, and I'm talking about like big things. Like they call him the young OG because his first major competition he won at 11 years old.
Oh, that's nuts. Yeah, yo, I think when I met Snap, I mean, at one of your shows, he was probably like 11 years old. I think.
Yeah,
you know?
Snap was
like,
11.
Snap. Shout out to Snap Boogie.
Yeah. So those are all my students. You know, I basically like mentored,
that's crazy.
Taught everybody. You know, till the last 6 years, and then I just moved here, and it's crazy because I'm like relaxed. I'm still involved in the. I'm laid back though now. Like I do work with a lot of kids out here. I do teach out here, but I you know, I had so much weight on my shoulders for so many years that it was, you know, it was time for me to step back and let someone else handle it. You know what I'm saying? It's dope,
funny
man.
Because I think about you, and it's like similarly, you know, like I've known at the same time with me, like doing some of the backstage stuff that people don't necessarily know about, promoting shows, putting shows together, doing some of the business side, you know, and I always see that evolution with you. Is that something you've also mentored them through to on the business side of this stuff?
For sure. And I mean, you know, the thing for me was I had to learn everything around me. So from like dancing, even dancing, like when we started dancing, we couldn't dance like everybody else because it was so confrontational. We had to look at everything around us to be different.
Absolutely. Put your own spin on your spin.
I basically, when I met Float in like 1984, we used to always, Float was like one of the most amazing dancers in the world. So when he kind of, we grew up talking about, what the things that happened, you know what I'm saying? Like me traveling around the world, me doing this, and I always wanted to do it for the rest of my life. Things took a turn for him, but for me, it was a little bit, different. And rest in peace and Flow too, because his inspiration, I probably wouldn't have been, you know what I'm saying, where I am right now. You know what I'm saying? Because he kept me motivated, kept me believing, and so I just learned everything, man. I mean, I remember, just doing events, just to do breaking events, just because I wanted to do something to kind of get more kids involved. Yeah. Get more people to come to Boston and get more people to respect Boston. You know what I'm saying? And all the areas, and then doing my own plays. You know what I'm saying? Just
that's crazy.
Or performing with people at plays. I would just look around and see how they were doing it, and be like, you know what? I'm gonna do my own play.
Can do this. Yeah.
And then we did plays for like 10 years. I created my own play.
That's hot.
Did that, and then from doing my own play, I said, you know what? I'm gonna start booking my own shows. I started booking rap shows. You know what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely, yeah.
And then they all came along for the ride. You know what I'm saying? I started doing my own festivals, like the Peace Festival, Boston Hip Hop Festival, like
for real.
All those things I was doing was just things that I learned. And I always wanted to just inspire people through bringing people to inspire people. So for me, it was like Float was my biggest inspiration. He was from New York. Going back and forth to New York, I saw different things. I saw people. So I started bringing those people to Boston to inspire all the rest of the kids. And that's what everything I did. I didn't just do shows for, and just have the artists there. I brought other people from the community to do those shows with us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
And to be fair, sometimes you could only be as fair as you can, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you got to open up the door for more people, and I was well known all around Boston, you know what I'm saying? So I had just imagine for all those city hall shows, how many calls I used to get.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Even me, and I really didn't have as much to do with it as you, but it's I'll be like, you want to talk to Lino, maybe?
Oh man, you was one of the people telling people.
I would get the calls 24/7. I'm like,
I was plenty of people, man.
I'm just one.
Like you only have a certain amount of time for a show. You've basically been around the whole hip hop community since the beginning. So just imagine how. You travel all around Boston. So it was those times was difficult, but I just did the best that I could for my city. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was trying to do.
How do you feel? Like we talk about this as MCs quite a bit. Like we'll travel, we'll do a show, whatever, and people will ask us about this MC and that MC and the Boston scene. And internationally, people are very excited about obviously the New York and Boston scene. I mean, to make an equivalent, I guess, is like. People will think of this may be a bit out of pocket. I'm not sure if I'm speaking out of turn here, but like somebody like a Crazy Legs to New York, you're kind of like the equivalent for that, Boston, and so I realize
everybody says that too. Everybody.
I mean, it's I'm just saying in terms of the relative. If you had to draw a comparison, right, into like who would be the counterpart, and it's like, all right, so if that's the New York dancing scene, and New York obviously the hip hop capital of the world, we know that, right? Acknowledged. Where does Boston fit in terms of its dance scene on an international and even domestic scale? Like how is it perceived?
I mean, we're definitely known worldwide. Like we definitely created. The thing is, even with just our group that's been together 40 years, the only group that's actually consistently been together 40 years. Like we went through all the different, because we weren't just breakers, we were dancers. So we knew how to flip styles. We know how to kind of like go through all the different eras of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And then, even when it came to, the mumble rap and all the different types of music, the younger, kids' music, we still kept our shit real. You know what I'm saying? Like we still was we still, and I respect all that. Like, the thing about it is when you have a connection with kids, you have to respect all that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even though you don't like it, you got to respect it because you still have a connection with those kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to keep that connection because if that connection gets lost, you don't know where they're going to go.
Right.
Mm-hmm. For me, the connection with the kids was a big thing because I knew from when I was young, my whole mission was to keep kids out of trouble.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like my
absolutely.
thing wasn't about, come dance with me, and that was it. It was like, nah, if I don't keep this kid's minds occupied, I'll go, shoot someone, go to jail, get killed.
And it's actually easier with dance. Like for MCing, it's way harder to keep an MC on that straight and narrow path because there's so much downtime for MCs. It's not like you're writing 24/7. Dancers could be dancing literally all day.
All day.
Whereas an MC might be in a studio here and there, but you don't have access necessarily to a studio like that. And you might be on the corner rapping, but that quickly turns into being on the corner trapping. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. It's harder to do that for MCs, but definitely dance, is sort of the cornerstone of the culture for that.
Yeah, I mean,
that reason.
In a room, we have our practice space will be open from from 6 to 9, 10.
Yeah,
so they have
that's
that
really doing it
late night. You know what I'm saying? So they come in at 5 to 9, 10. They're tired as hell going home.
And this for me, it's not rocket science. Like people talk about, trying to. I mean, we see, even now, we see obviously the violence in the Asian community, of course, that hate being front and center on media right now. But it's in any city, unfortunately, shootings have become like a regular thing, right? There's issues, right? And if any municipality really wants to put their money where their mouth is, you invest in hip hop, especially through dance.
The saddest thing that I find, man, and this goes from the late 90s, to right now. Like music has changed so many people's lives. You know what I'm saying? Like there's been a lot of people that basically from R&B singers to rappers who have, done a lot of amazing things. And I was just thinking about this the other day. You have artists like Jay-Z, artists like Puffy, Master P,
the icons,
iconic
billionaires.
They're billionaires. There's tons. You DJ Khaled, Nas,
heavy,
and they have these connections with a lot of these, because now they're on a whole different plateau. So they have
different world,
connections with all these corporations, with even government. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand why they don't really push for that. Like we should be building jails. We should be building places where we can kind of teach these kids how to do all these different. If they want to rap, dance, produce,
Indeed.
DJ, keep it going. Create their own websites, create clothing lines, become a carpenter, a plumber. Like instead of putting people in jail, you know what I'm saying? Why don't you open up, government programs so you could actually give kids trades? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just amazing to me that they don't have that.
I was like Mozzie last week. I mean, he's got that. That's a cool thing when people have that structure beginning, but it was.
Have you heard Words, Beats, and Life, Lino? He's talking about they're out in DC. This guy Mozzie.
I think I think so. Yeah,
they do good work, man. They're a great example, Jay. They really do it.
No, I have some friends out there too that do some things. I mean, I know people everywhere, and I know people are doing it, but I'm just saying, not to the extent where you have tables,
right? On that higher level, right?
No, I'm just talking about, and I think when you have all these people that are doing big things, like Dr. Dre, like you can't tell me that they can't sit down and just say, look, with these corporations, say let's start investing in these big, things all around cities. Instead of building jails, let's build something else.
Absolutely.
And I've done plenty plenty of that and still doing, that work. You know what I'm saying? So I know it works.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a product of it. My son, nephews, plenty of people. Not to say that a lot of people in my group didn't get in trouble. Of course they did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the truth is, like, how many people have we inspired to basically do bigger and better things? I could name so many people that I helped that are doing great things, and still motivated and still inspired to do great things and still learning from, because we all still students. It's not like I just sit here and say, I've done my job. Like, I still get inspired by people. You know what I'm saying? I still look into being inspired by the younger generation, by the older generation. Don't really matter, But I just think that, people with that type of power really need to start looking into the type of power and start leaving it up to, our politicians all the time.
Yeah.
Because, the craziest thing is, like, this year I've seen so many artists, like, pushing for change, right? We got change. But that change, is only going to be so much change. Like politicians, I trust me, I worked at City Hall, and it wasn't even me working there, just me dealing with having to go there. Just because I did so many great, things for the city. They wanted me to work there, but I seen how they work, and I wasn't interested in working at City Hall. It was so political that I didn't want to be a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So I understand, like, how.
And then they turn to you when there's a violent situation, and all of a sudden it's an emergency, And
it's an emergency.
What can you do? Do this hip hop thing for us now.
Yeah, but then after that,
nothing. Yeah.
Then once things change,
then
they don't do nothing else.
Yeah.
So I think
especially administrations.
Yeah, bro. Like, they, this administration is gonna do I think any administration could have done better than the last administration.
Yeah.
Low bar. Things done. Getting things done. But what, is going to happen now? Like, what, you know what I'm saying? If these artists don't step up and be like, look, we helped y'all do this. Let's start working on this. Let's start doing this. Or even putting some of their money, because some of their money is going to actually work and help the communities, and it's going to help them make even more money. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know how people think sometimes. They just don't think,
Hey, Lino, our man Fly just stepped in the building. He's an MC. He's all about that similar movement as well. We're gonna bring him up in here too with y'all if you don't mind.
Come on,
right up here. Yeah, wait.
Yo,
what's up,
man? What's up, Fly?
How are you?
What's up,
man? Coming down off the vacation I had.
I see. I see.
What kind of vacation we talking about now?
I mean, nothing major.
Nothing major, just a little downtime.
Yeah, just a week away.
When you live in, like, you're doing that South life, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where do you hit? I mean, it's already nice down there, right? So like Lino's in Hawaii, by the way. I don't know if you caught that, but Lino Fly, LMC Fly.
That's kind of why I got that kind of Hawaiian cup out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's it. That's it.
Hawaii.
That's on my list. I might have to get your contact, man, because I'm trying to make local connections so I can make sure I'm hitting the right spots.
Oh, for sure.
The food scene, and I don't want that tourist station. You know what I'm saying? You want the who
was out here with me was J-Ro from the Licks.
Oh,
okay.
I was just kicking it with him. I just took him all over the place, introducing all the hip hop artists. He ended up performing out here.
Yeah.
He was doing. Yeah, man. He ended up doing a record with someone out here. So yeah, Fly. Where you from, Fly?
So I'm originally from Chicago, but I've been here in Mississippi probably half my life now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this home, man. I love it. To answer your question, Pro, for me, we like 4 hours from like Memphis, New Orleans. But let me tell you, my sweet spot is Little Rock, Arkansas.
Really? Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm totally not hip. I've never been. I've done a lot of shows. I've never been to Arkansas, man.
Look,
I don't even know how to say it properly. How do you say it? How you say it?
They call it Little Rock, but that's a local thing.
No, I meant the whole state. You say Arkansas. All right. I make sure that's how I say it. I don't know if it's like Hawaii. You got some inner like Arkansas or something. Arkansas.
Yeah.
So why? What's the deal with it?
So,
just chill?
it's just super chill. I love it because it's eclectic. Just like on a larger scale, it's real low key. Like you said, a lot of people don't really go visit.
Lino, you ever rocked Arkansas?
Nah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's not on the list. We got to make it happen.
The last thing on their list is Arkansas. So for me, it's just kind of like I always know that it's gonna be chill, low key. It's not gonna be super crowded. It's kind of it's bigger than Jackson, but it's not a major city at all. But it's big enough to where if you into like food and you know you're trying to bump into a hip hop crowd and make some connections, you can stick with that without it being too much hustle and bustle and crazy traffic and all that. And it's just everything's kind of built around the Arkansas River. You know what I'm saying? Everything's kind of built around Arkansas River, and they call it Little Rock because there's mountains everywhere. And it's super pretty, man. Everything's green. You know, you can just chill and the scenery, you can walk, and you ain't worry about nobody knowing who you are or, you know,
dope.
All that. So, yeah, you can really just kick back and just chill.
Hey, yo, Lino, I just want to, maybe you can answer this question. Somebody asked this in our chat. John H. asked, is breaking the jazz of dance appreciated today, but the golden era has passed?
The jazz of dance? I don't understand that question.
I think what he's saying is it something like of yesteryear that people know is like, you know, classic, but like it's past its apex.
Nah, man, we about to be in the Olympics in 4 years. Breaking is
right.
Huge,
Tell them
we do events all over the world, man. I mean, I'm doing an event, you know, this Sunday, you know, out here at the beach. Like, breaking is huge. You know, it's just not in the limelight like that. But if you really look on YouTube,
the jams are there.
I mean, there's events going around worldwide. Like this, I did an event for COVID. And I had 12 countries. You wouldn't even realize. I didn't do anything for the States. I just did it for the countries. So I worked for an organization out of D.C. called Next Level.
Oh, yeah.
I work for Next Level. So they, you know, I'm a hip hop.
I know. North Carolina, too. They're connected with NC, right? Through the university.
Yep. With Mark Katz.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, hip hop is huge, man. I mean, you know, it's huge. And the thing about breaking is there's more people involved in the dance breaking and hip hop dance than any other element of hip hop.
For sure.
There's more dancers than there is rappers, DJs, writers, everything. You know what I'm saying? So when you go to it like a hip hop event, you're gonna have like, you know, the groups are like 10 to 5. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have like 100 in China. Like, you know how many groups go up to a competition in China? I've sat there and watched people judge like 1,000, 1,200 groups of 10 groups.
And they're all nice too, right?
Yeah, all nice.
Yeah,
all nice. Then solo dancers. Like solo dancers, like you get like. That's why even on all you know, like you go on TikTok, dance is the most popular, and you see it breaking.
Mm-hmm. And until TikTok and some of the, you know, YouTube, obviously, it's so hard to commodify. Unlike, you know, hip hop, we got a product to sell all the time. It's hard to, you're not going to cop a, you know, especially 10 years ago, like a video DVD. It's not as it's hard, you know.
And
but
now people are mixing it. What we were doing like early '80s, like people are mixing it. You know what I'm saying? So they're mixing all styles of dance now. So it's not just that style of dance. You know what I'm saying? It's everything mixed in together, popping, breaking, choreo, everything. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's really hasn't, you know, since the '80s. You know what I'm saying? The only time it really fell off was from like maybe '88 to like '85. And people were still doing it. I mean, we were still doing it, but we were kind of mixing it with all the different styles of dance.
Yeah.
But '85, like
MCs were taking some attention.
Yeah. If people go to like Europe, like, and different countries. I mean, I did an event, like I was saying, I had 12 countries. I had different parts of Africa, like probably like different, like 4 different parts of Africa. I had Brazil, like 3 different parts of Brazil. I had Panama. I can't even name half the countries. Uzbekistan, Myanmar, countries that you wouldn't even think. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and they represent.
Yeah, they came to represent it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's bigger than what people think.
And it cuts across it's tougher sometimes when I'm seeing, because you go to like, we're talking about my man Torch in Germany. Shout out to Torch. It's like they don't necessarily know what we're saying and vice versa. They usually know what we're saying more than we know what they're saying. We're just like, you
but
see these MCs and
craziest thing is, you go to any of those countries, if they know your song, they're singing it.
That's it. If they know your song, yeah, that's it. But but in reverse for us, we go over there, we're like, what the hell are they saying? But it's like, but dance, you don't need any of that. You have the international you don't need Google Translator. You know what I'm saying? You got your body feels the rhythm, and you get it. You're like, yo, that's sick. The thing is, what strikes me with dancing, it's like the NBA. People complain that this generation and the last generation, and even partly the generation before, has come up on the and one videos, right? The and one phenomena, which really flooded YouTube and really actually made YouTube a portion of what it is. But it's like ballers got better. They might have lacked some fundamentals, but they were starting to try incredible things. And it's just like, okay, so now someone sees so the Jay Harden, does, whatever. He does a step that's, you might say looks like a travel, but before you know it, everybody in the league is doing it, right? Because it's now.
That's like breaking for sure. Like
that's my point.
To a whole different level now. People all over the world just taking what we're doing and doing something crazy. People
now they put their flip on it.
On a whole different level. The breakers in Russia like crazy. Even the kids and the kids in Japan are amazing.
Oh, I know. Oh yeah.
Girls are like doing like
straight moves
right now.
Yeah.
Doing
power moves like what?
Yeah, man, like nothing. Like they're flying in the air, dude. Like they're just like these kids is flying. I'm telling you. I'm not even lying.
Real. That's a beautiful thing.
I believe it.
So good question. So question real quick. Lino, so I got a track called and it's funny you said this, right? I got a track called Step It Up, right, on my new album. And I really wanted to capture what you just described, but I didn't know how to do that. And so I wanted the video to be retrofitted to kind of like the late 80s kind of era with the break dance. I actually was literally got done sitting down with my videographer and we talked about if y'all remember the old Spike Lee joint, School Days.
Yeah, for sure.
And so just trying to recreate that. And so I'm actually looking for somebody or group, anybody right now that could put together something.
What city? I mean, I could tell you I don't know too many b-boys in Mississippi or Arkansas.
Yeah.
But what other cities are you close to? Like, I know b-boys in North Carolina. I know b-boys in Chicago. I know b-boys in like Florida, all over Florida.
Anywhere. Anywhere that's. I mean, I really don't put no limitations on it.
You know what?
I can just get that, or if they can just put a video together and send it to me, I can use it as a cameo.
You know what I'm gonna do? Follow me on Instagram. Go to LeanSkee.
Yeah, put that up so everybody can do that too. Everybody that's watching, make sure you follow Lino.
Yeah, LeanSkee. And you got that? Fly?
Hold on. Let me pull up Instagram real quick. All right.
And I'm gonna put out the word for you, man. LeanSkee. And there might be some b-boys, you know what I'm saying, in Mississippi, you know what I'm saying, that I just don't know who they are. How far? What's the closest cities around you?
Major city wise, I'm like 3 hours from New Orleans, 6 hours from Atlanta, 6 hours from Nashville, 3 hours from Memphis.
Atlanta, I definitely got you in Atlanta for sure.
I know 6 hours from Dallas, 7 hours from Houston.
Yeah, Houston is. I know mad b-boys in Houston and Dallas. You know what I'm saying. Only thing is I just don't really know, and I'm sure that b-boys. They got to be b-boys in Mississippi, for sure.
6 hours from Panama City in Florida, but
there's plenty of b-boys in Florida, like in Orlando. I mean, I have my nephews, and I got nephews in
Pro, you muted.
Who's muted?
Yeah, it was me. I'm sorry. I was typing so loud. I forgot.
But yeah, I actually.
I was gonna say if you hit up John H. put Junebug will do it, but Snap, by the way, Snap Boogie, man. Shout out to Snap Boogie. He was doing a dance contest for a while for MCs who had a track. He was like, submit the track, and he'll actually dance to it and put it on his social media too. So shout out to Snap. Well, I'll hook you up with.
But he probably wants somebody in his video, like to dance in the video, no?
Both.
Yeah.
Snap.
Send the video too
on the TikTok. I can send them the TikTok, the track. If you wanted to come up with something with it, some choreo or whatever, we can link that with it. I actually got a project that I'm working on that's on the album too, called Fiesta with a young lady out of Florida, and so I need to get to her anyway.
So
I'm making kill two birds with one stone.
So this is what we could do. Connect with me on that. Kind of make a little video of what you want to do, what you're looking to do. Play a little piece of your song that you want to put out.
Yeah,
and I'll shoot it out, man. I'll put it on my page, on my story, and see how many people pick it up. You know what I'm saying?
The great thing about that is those tracks tend to be timeless too. You know what I mean? And that thing can have a. I did one on my album too. When I did the album with Shame. We called it It's a New Thing. And I keep saying that. I'm like, I'm thinking like, I made that album like 7 years ago. You know, I'm like, I'm like, I got to make this It's a New Thing video because it's all B-boys. Yeah, I made it for like B-boys, and those tracks have a long shelf life. You make that.
I always had that vision where it was like, having a show and you got your MCs, your DJ, you got your break dancers breaking while you're doing your set, and you got your graffiti artists doing something on like
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like having it all on stage. I think that would be so dope.
Yeah.
That is dope. That's amazing. I mean, that's how I try to create all my shows, like the events that I do, like that's what I try to have. Like I try to make sure it's everything involved. You got MCs, you got DJs, you got dancers.
Yeah, and it lets people remember, like when this is what it is. It's not just this. It's all this.
And that's the sad thing about it, and it's the media, like they don't put it all together.
No,
they split it apart. It's like even the record labels, like even when the first shows started happening, you always had everything together. You know what I'm saying? When the first hip hop tours came together, there was all the elements together.
I would say MCs are definitely notorious for battling. Of course, obviously dancers battle, DJs battle, right? Everybody, there's a battle culture to hip hop for sure. Yeah, even writers. I mean, we understand that the tag game too. But the funny part is like with MCs, like I always say that some of my best friends in hip hop are people I battled. Can you speak on this though? Before we let you out of here, is in dancing, my observations have always been that there is a strong dislike between a lot of dancers that cuts deep. Like I'll talk to this dancer and this dancer and this dancer, and one of them has a story about another dancer, and I'm like, this is cutthroat. These dancers are off for blood.
I think it's a lot of jealousy. For me, it was never like that. Like,
right.
I always try to treat everybody the same. Everybody the same. Even my son, my nephews, all my friends, and they've always noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the floor, of course we have that. But one of my best friends, Float, when I met Float, he destroyed our crew. Float and Chino, Incredible Breakers. He became like a brother to me.
Right,
what I'm saying? You got people who want to be like you, who want, your attention, want things that you're doing, who have that mentality. It's like rap. It's like anything. Everybody has that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has that.
Yeah.
And all the elements have that. You have MCs.
They do. Yeah. It's funny. Like I don't see it from the behind the scenes. I guess like we wouldn't know. You know what I mean? So it's like it seems like from an onlooker standpoint, it seemed like it was carrying more than just on the floor. Like I always say, we always have that story too. It's like we battling the thing and we're cool after or whatever for the most part. Yeah. But for dancers, sometimes I'd be like, wow, this seems like 5 years later, and they seem to still be like kind of like, what up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those guys are the guys who kind of like, who want.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. So it's not true for everybody. It's just sort of people caught up in that. Yeah, and
it's a
Austin's
lot of people.
competitive,
And
yo.
if they continue to talk, then you kind of like brush it off and you just like, yo, whatever.
Right.
But if you know you're doing your thing, you ain't even worried about none of that. Like you just do your thing.
Yeah.
And you just let that rub off your shoulder. Like, you know what?
Right.
You can have that mentality, but I ain't going.
We all get a lot of questions like this, Lino, as MCs, and I'm sure I don't want to speak for Fly, but I'm assuming it's similar for you out there too. Is that the number one question I get asked? Do any show, especially at a school, an institution, right? It's like, yo, how much money do you make, right? It's like, I'm not asking you how much money you make, but what I am asking is about like, what do you say to the young dancer, right? Like, is it a viable career? Are the odds stacked against you? Like, what do you have to do if you're a young dancer coming up to make a career?
What I teach dancers, what I've actually learned myself is to adapt to everything. Don't just be a dancer. I'm just not a dancer. I'm a teacher.
There you go.
I'm a promoter.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a choreographer.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
DJ, everything.
I'm a DJ.
He's a DJ. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm a historian. Like, you know, I'm a host. So I do a ton of different things. So if you're not doing all that to survive doing what you love, then you basically are not gonna. I don't, because you know, even in rapping, like you're just not a rapper. I have a program that I teach that. You know what I'm saying? Called Seventh Element. It's not just you about being a rapper. You're just not a rapper. If you want to look at yourself as a rapper, then that's what
on you
think you are.
Yeah,
you're
man.
A writer, man. You can go so far with writing. There's so many different like ways you can attack that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Preach,
you're just not a rapper. You're a writer, bro. You can write a book. You can write a movie. You know what I'm saying? You can write poems.
I remember having. It just came to me. I didn't even remember this, but I remember now. It just came to me. In Cambridge when we did we brought Supernatural. You DJ'd that. I totally forgot that. Yo, that was the first time I had a show with you where you were DJing. I actually got to see you doing your thing, man. Like, I looked at you in a different light. I was like, yo, he really is DJing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hell yeah.
I was like, I'm going to have Lino DJ this event. That's crazy.
Bro. So, I mean, I do it. Oh, I've done plenty. I've DJed for many rappers.
Yeah.
You know, out here, that's what I do. I DJ for rappers, too. Like, bunch of rappers, like, you know, so you just got to stay consistent. You got to stay learning.
Yeah.
You know, you're always a student, man. But if you think you're just a rapper and you think, you know, that's what you're going to do, I mean, you could help other kids.
Because the coin isn't just in that one element, is what you're saying.
I mean, the thing is really about passing on your gift, right? Inspiring the next person. So you could be that person's manager. Like, there's so many different ways you can go about it. You can learn how to make beats. You can make beats. You know, I mean, you can't just look at just being a rapper. DJ, the same thing. Like a DJ, he's just not. He can go in the studio and do a million jobs. He can go to a record label and do a million jobs.
It sounds like though what you are saying is it is tough to make an income off dance.
Just dance.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
You know, you just can't do it. Dancing, like I did a lot of years of dancing, performing, and teaching.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I would dance, but most of my money was coming from teaching
other people. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
teaching at schools, teaching at different things, and then it moved on to doing other things and other things and other things. You know?
Yeah, right. But
I mean, it's. You know,
I think that's true across the board, man. Yeah,
absolutely. Say that. That's just like basic economics, man. Serial entrepreneurship, multiple streams of income. It's just a viable thing. Even if the one you have is very productive, it's still just wise to have.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like no matter what.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, because some things I think about, like Airbnb, a lot of other people who used what we know now as a successful business, but they did 5-6 other things as seed money to start what we now know as Airbnb or whatever other things. But selling, you know, putting rappers on cereal boxes and selling and making enough money to start a company.
Yeah, no doubt.
So that's just basic economics, man. No matter what you're doing, having multiple streams of income, especially as an aspiring artist, if you don't have ways to support, because you always know, like, it's the love thing, and it's always an initial investment before you ever get started.
You guys got to get up on the NFT thing now, man. That's blowing up.
I just did a 7-minute track with a guy from England. He's a producer, And that's kind of like the avenue I'm taking. I'm like, I'm not releasing this. I'm gonna make this thing so nostalgic, and I'm just gonna make it an NFT.
Yeah, man, that's a new thing, man.
Nobody has it but me.
Yeah,
that's dope.
But the thing about it is those are the things right now that is actually taken away from the normal, you know what I'm saying, artists, you know, any type of artist.
Yeah.
No, it's basically taking what you do away from the corporations, you know what I'm saying, and putting it back in the artist's hands.
That's what it's about, man. They done it the other way for so long.
Yeah, man.
Everybody heard the horror stories of the last 30 years about how the artists get, you know, screwed.
Nothing.
and they make all the money off your art.
Off your hard work, your dedication.
Yep.
Your art. And then I was always trying to make it seem like, you know, you can't make it without them. But, you know, they paid for it to be that way. But at the end of the day, without the artists, what do you really have?
I mean, I think, you know, we all see that, man. But I gotta get ready. Bounce, fellas. Yo, peace, lyrical, JC, Fly. Nice meeting you, man.
Yo, great having you, man.
With me, man.
Bro, I already followed you on Instagram. I sent you the link to everything I have, all my videos, all my music.
Okay, I see you right here.
And I sent you the reference to the track that I was telling you about that I'm looking to get, you know, kind of blend with some of that nostalgic 80s breakdancing and all that for this track that I'm working. That I'm already the album's already out, came out January 15th. But it's gonna be my next single.
Okay.
And yo, people too, go to @LeanSkee on IG and make sure you click that follow, y'all.
Lean
man, thank you guys. Yo, peace, fellas.
Peace, Lino. Thanks for coming through, man.
Coming through, man.
We'll see you in Hawaii, man.
Peace, guys.
Yeah,
we're gonna make that happen.
Come visit. Come visit for sure.
I want them. Yeah, man. So Fly, hey, Lino, that was great. Fly, I seen you last night. Looked like you was doing an interview.
So yeah, man.
Talk to me.
I had an interview with basically the biggest radio station in the city, in the state.
Dope.
Okay.
They do like throwback Thursdays and stuff like that. Of course, you know I'm a local.
Was it bigger than the Pro Quo show?
Nothing's bigger than the Pro Quo show.
Man, you kidding me? That's huge. That's this big. That's monstrous.
You know what I mean? Nothing. This anything that has an international connection and an outlasting effect and established instant brotherhood. There's no value that you can place on that.
Yeah.
And so, I
see what you did there.
Mean that.
That was very good.
But
that was Jedi.
The interview was good, man. Like I said, I got videos and stuff, footage from the interview from last night. Really just, you know, putting in the work, trying, you know, that groundwork that you need to do in order to really get yourself in the position to, you know, make moves.
Absolutely.
Stuff like that, get it out there. I followed that up with today. I did just some charity work, and it was kind of part marketing, promo kind of thing. I teamed up with one of the popular soul food joints, partnered with them, seeded them some bread, and just was like, look, the first 40 people show up, we're gonna feed them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's dope.
And networked with them. You know, what I always tell people, and I had to re-explain this multiple times today when I was just out doing the thing, because you walk up to somebody's car as a stranger, they're like, what you want? What you selling? Right? What you want?
That's what I'm thinking.
I was just letting them know, like, you know, my life's mission is about, you know, just the mission, you know, serving people, giving back, and just really supporting small businesses, the local community any way that I can. So that's one of my life mission. And like you were saying about, like Lino was saying about breaking, just about dance, you know, that's your passion, what you love, but ultimately it's just a platform for a life's work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I was out doing that earlier today, from like 1 to 3, just giving out food. You know, people pulling up, and the area, man. You know, the per capita in Mississippi, man, is great. So it's people out here, man, that can use as much help as they can.
Yeah, for real. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I ain't sitting on no mountain of money, man. I get up, I go to work every day. You feel me?
I do.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
We hard-working men up in here. I'll tell you that right now.
For real, I get up, I go to work every day. I got a wife, I got 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? I got a mortgage, I got 2 car notes. Like, I got real bills. You feel me?
Yeah.
But something about I believe wholeheartedly, man, in seed, man, and just like God get that thing back 100-fold. I don't even be sweating it. Like it never fails. I always end up making a connection, or aside from how it makes me feel, like internally, just as a purpose.
Yeah, that's the best part, right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that make it all. I always make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
By itself, but just God always aligns something else up. I stumbled across one of the biggest promoters in the state, probably the biggest promoter in the state, and he plugged me for free.
Wow.
He was like, when you need something, I'm working on the mixtape. He didn't know this. He's like, man, if you ever need a mixtape, I got a DJ, man, that's everywhere right now. When you ready, just let me know.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? It just happened.
We were talking about that earlier, Fly. Like, that law of attraction and all the energy that you put out, it's going to come back to you, man. And that's the beautiful thing. It really is.
Back, bro. So it was worth it, man. Like the interview was cool. It didn't last long, but got out there and promoted. I messed up on my interview last night. I was supposed to promote the charity event today and completely forgot.
Story of my life. I do that all the time.
You know what I mean?
Like, what? Oh yeah, what was I going there for? Yeah.
Man, LD hit me. He texted me. He was like, "Bro, guess what, man? We forgot to plug that bit." I was like, "Oh."
Shout out to LD.
Shout out LD.
I was like,
man.
But it was
Freedom Corner, free from the corner. I just have to say that whenever I see you now.
Man.
Freedom Corner.
Yo, when he hit me with that line, I mean, because Pro was getting it. He was like, "Yo, the epistles," and then you hit me with that verse, bro. I'm like, damn, that bar that I couldn't figure out.
I was like, he definitely flipped the epistles.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Come on, man.
Man, listen, that's the art. That you said this 2 weeks ago. Sometimes you just writing and
you stumble into greatness, right?
You know what I mean? It's just like, where did this come from?
Where did it come from? Yeah.
You start. That's it.
Yeah.
Where did this come from?
I always, what I used to say? I always say this. I didn't do this. This ain't me. This ain't me. You know what I mean? When you get possessed like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, man, we gotta get on some mixtape work too, man. I gotta get y'all on the mixtape.
Facts.
Pro Quo has never been on a mixtape, so that could be an exclusive.
That would be amazing.
Pro Quo is not really in the ether like that. You know what I mean?
Nah, if anybody gonna get it, it's gonna be Fly.
There's some lyrical on some mixtapes. There's some J. Cruz on some mixtapes, but there's not any Pro Quo.
I've never been featured on any mixtapes outside of my own mixtapes.
Wait a minute.
I've done.
What? This is breaking news. What?
Oh no, actually, I'm sorry. That's a lie.
All right.
I have been. Well, actually, I think you know what? No. Actually, it wasn't. I've been on like albums and stuff, but mixtapes, I can't say that I've been. So you'll be the first, Fly.
So this is the other thing. I'm glad I got y'all. The challenge is integrating, because what we remember as mixtapes, right? You rarely hear anymore. Right. And so, I mean, you'd be hard pressed to even find an artist that consistently drop albums.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say, what did you? That was my thing. Like, what did you mean by mixtape in this day and age? Like, do you mean
I wanted to be mixtape. So, in at least nostalgic enough in the way that I remember and appreciate it. But I guess that would be probably a modern
playlist
sound.
On Spotify.
You know what I'm saying, right? But my initial thought is it's just gonna be straight. I got a website, foreverlivesyahweh.com, if you didn't already know. Well, I'm just gonna put all the music on there, and it's gonna be free to download. You can put it straight to your phone. And
let me try typing that long one out there. Foreverlivesyahweh.com, right?
Yep.
That's the same name I use. If you go to Instagram, Spotify, Forever Lives Yahweh, that's me.
So my man from Lenny, that is aka the Magician, he was a big time mixtape pusher.
Yeah.
And he helped me develop my mixtape when I was working on it. Kind of gave, I had the idea, I fleshed it out, but he really helped me step it up. And for me, it was the additional salt and pepper in between every record with the skits, the sound effects, the scratches. Yep. And that's exactly what you're talking. The missing part about a mixtape, it's basically an album. Most of the people that drop in mixtapes, quote unquote, it's like an album.
Right.
Like
And
the
that's not,
mixtape is a whole nother feel,
it's a
yo.
whole nother feel.
Yeah.
Is DJ bring that back.
Yep.
Run that again. And what I appreciate mixtapes the most, and which I know you guys really appreciate about the artist, that you're a writer. And so sometimes you write and there's no structure. To me, that's mixtape too.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no. To me, what separates a mixtape from the album is the song structure.
Yeah, that's very true too. That's,
you know what I'm saying? You got a
true,
typical hook, verse, whatever. But mixtape is just like I might write 24 bars straight, and they all flow together.
Lil Season, Lil Kim when they had that. When you walk the feet to your street, get callous. It just went off. I don't think there was any hook on that Junior Mafia. Boom. Like, come on, man. Yeah, that's the cool. And like you said, updated hip hop too. You know, it hasn't been really done.
That's the first Lil C's reference I've heard in over 2 years. That's the name I forgot about right there, man.
I had heard
Lil C's. What's Lil C's up to? Speaking of, it's hard to make money in hip hop, right?
Yeah, so that's what I'm working on, man. I'm gonna get the mixtape together. For some reason, man, this instant era that we in, albums do not last you a year anymore. That era is gone.
Yeah, some John H put drama mixtape equals one artist, clue mixtape equals multiple artists. I got a funny drama story. I met Drama right about as he was blowing. I mean, it was like him and two other dudes. I was on a plane to NBA. No, I was on the way back. I was on a plane on the way back from the Houston All-Star game, and I was doing like, trust me, I was in like the lowest of the low in terms like getting assigned pictures and stuff like that for the NBA weekend that was in Houston. That was back when Katrina hit, and they were using where Houston was another spillover site that they were using as a shelter. Yeah, and so I'm sure you probably remember that being closer to that.
We were one of the major spillover spots. Yeah. We just a couple hours from New Orleans. There's a lot of people still here from Katrina that is reestablished and now living in Mississippi.
Yeah, no doubt. But this dude, that's crazy, man. Just even thinking about that time. But no, it's funny. So Drama, I'm sitting at the it was like the Burger King or something in the airport, waiting to get on. I'm looking at these three dudes and they're all wearing their leather coats, and I'm like, oh man, they're like making that movement. I'm like, clearly this is a hip hop squad, right? So I walked over to them. I was like, hey, what's up? What up? Blah blah blah. I was talking to them, a little small talk, whatever. And we were coming from the same event. I knew that there was that this dude was DJing, but I didn't know he was big, you know what I'm saying, like that.
Right.
And he wasn't quite like that yet, but he was already starting the grills stuff. And that was at the beginning of the whole grills evolution, And then he was on the plane, and I was like, and then I really got to see a little bit more what they were doing. And then as soon as I got back, it was just like drama. It was like, it was
right,
like he was that dude.
Don Kenny.
Absolutely. It's like, it's like when you buy that car and you see that car everywhere. It was just like that. I was like, man.
Right.
I was a little sleeping on just how large this dude was. But that's my drama story.
That's my confession, man. That was one of my lifetime goals, to do a mixtape with Drama. A Gangsta Grills. What? Listen.
Oh my Grills God. Changed a lot of stuff, like John H is saying, really did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I hadn't seen really the South like that. That was like my first time like really seeing, at sort of the peak of I don't know, I want to say that peak, but it was just like you went in the clubs at that time and it was just lines and lines and lines, especially during All-Star weekend, just to get in. And it was I was like, okay, well, this is what the South is really about. Okay, now I'm starting to understand it. There's a lot of bounce in that music.
And by the way, Fly, I like that. I like that purple brand, by the way.
That color, I see that color scheme.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's the best cloth right there. The best cloth. That's the color. Purple. Royalty.
That royalty, baby. That royalty. Yeah, my wife told me, that's it, baby. That's it right there. That's the color right there.
Isn't that so beautiful when you have, man, I'm telling you, I'm blessed in that sense too, because she's like, you ain't doing that. No, you ain't doing that, but that you will. She filled up my my Fashion Over cart.
Here's the thing, though. I'm not saying this about any of our women, of course, but not all women can also be fashionistas, right? So it's like,
That's true.
as a
That's scary.
default, we make the mistake of believing that we happen to be with that woman that is now I've been with some women in my life, right? And some of them are bona fide fashionistas.
Yeah.
Some of them are not. And they're the same ones doling out that advice. And then you go into the next relationship and you're like, oh, then your woman's doing like, why? Nah, not even to be like, yo, what you doing with that on? And it'd be like, yo, my last lady said this was the thing, and then you realize the stereotype that you believe in, that all women, just have a wonderful eye for it, at least as I was, so foolish enough to believe. So I'm just saying, think twice about your lady co-signing what you're wearing, because she might not be the
That is very true.
You
you have to put your own
you have to put your
opinion
foot
into
down
it
at some
first.
point. Be like, you don't understand. You
You got it, brother. You're already on it. So to be honest, the crazy thing about it, like my wife, she hates shopping. Absolutely.
Okay.
Like absolutely hates shopping. Like she always can tell when something looks good, but she would never put it together. Like if I put it together, she's like, oh yeah, that's nice. But I already be knowing.
Right now, I got 50 different ways to rock some sweatpants. Let me tell you, I can rock some sweatpants.
I already
Nobody's
know,
business right
you
now.
know what I'm saying?
That's great.
Yo, I'm on some.
When she hit you with the, what you think you going with that on? Look, I'm like, ah, yeah.
This is my fashion game right here. This is my fashion game right here.
That's it. And now
Right there, baby.
That's the one.
That's the one coming to you, J. Cruz.
I can't wait.
And we got
Coming.
we got
Let me see that.
multiple.
Can I see that one more time?
Look at that.
That's dope. I love it.
You might notice if we have to switch it up a little bit. Hold on, we got to go back over to here.
Hey man, I got to cash out somebody, man. I need that hat.
We don't even, like I said, it's kind of like our music. We don't even have. You might notice it's very similar in the but you can't really tell.
I like that so
but
much.
anyways,
Yes.
I was trying to match it with the.
We're gonna build up the merch. Don't worry, Fly. We got you already. You don't even need to worry about that.
You just need one more hat.
That's it.
That's it. And then we can stop. There's just one.
I just need to send you 2025 and you just shoot me one of them. I need one of them.
Absolutely.
There you
go. I was thinking, by the way, you were talking earlier about the breakdancing song, the B-boy song. I'm gonna play you a clip of mine because we don't have our person. Shout out to my man Kev. He actually couldn't make it tonight. Last minute. Yeah, so we're actually not doing his segment. I know we getting pretty late in there, but I'm gonna run a piece of this Fly. I want you to hear it and speak on that timeless element of how them b-boy joints can work. And maybe we can hear yours. Maybe even next week if you want to run it, man. If you got something
next
to play.
week. Y'all probably already heard it. I mean, it's on the album.
Yeah, definitely. I know what you're talking about.
But we can run it for the people.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, it's the visual aspect that I want to capture, that nostalgia that I appreciate. That made me appreciate the art. You know what I'm saying? Graffiti and hip hop, just the DJ, the appreciation, and recreate that in the video.
Absolutely. I want to do the same thing. I still want to do it with this track. So check it out. We made this to sound like it was older than it was, but that was actually sort of the theme of the whole album. Shout out to the legendary DJ Shame, who DJs without headphones when he does breaks.
Whoa.
2013.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the track that his cats can rap to. The cats in the back want tag and grab to. B-boys coming in their matching tracksuits. Get down on the ground and spin around on their backs too. Techniques DJs will scratch to. Mix and match to. Learn to adapt to. YouTube and a video interviewing it. Improving it by noon. 100,000 are viewing it. Dude, I'm really trying to revive old school. Just trying to reach the kids and keep them going post to. Cause how we supposed to do what we supposed to when the youth ain't close to you and won't approach you. You want results in the schools, teach Pro Tools and teach them about the waves and the phases we go through. Then in math class, teach them the rap fast, percentages, investments, street scams, and NASDAQ. Cause in they backpacks, probably the sad fact, these little soldier boys ain't checking for Raz cash, but how they supposed to when they ain't spoke to. When even at open houses, their folks feel spoke to. Unapproachable educators won't coach them through. Lack of role models when schools ain't multicultural. I ain't insulting you, I'm trying to reach a multitude. Children is the future, so it really isn't up to you what we ought to do, but I can probably promise you the language of the world universally is musical. You keep preaching in Paris sermons is beautiful, but I'ma keep pressing EPs, business as usual.
Business as usual.
missing the whole point. They ain't seeking votes, we seeking a finger point. Crab mentality, the cats who used to batter me, who really couldn't beat me, just wanted me beaten badly. Mostly physically, flows me too mentally, upon a higher plane and remain the same enemy. Change identities, neighborhood celebrity, superhero disguise the eyes and show integrity. Independently, Democrat or Republican, you need to pay attention to people running the government. Cause elected officially, initially, sometimes still forgets effective immediately. And the media can be so deceptive, oversensitized, attracts our attention. So pay attention to stations, agendas, and how they pit us against different races and genders. Just remember the words of Bambaataa: have fun, love, unity, peace, and keep karma. And keep honor on you like armor. Faith in the Most High will rise like old Brahma, baby.
This is where they getting that dance on right here in the video. The videos that don't exist yet.
Perfect for a b-boy.
I did this at a b-boy joint. It was crazy. A couple of them actually. Yeah, you get the idea. There it is. Fade it out.
This is Backpack Trap, Cadillac Stacks.
Yeah.
Man, bro, that's really nice.
That's my b-boy.
Very nice
track. Yeah, man, I got to do a video for that. That's one. Like I said, you can do one 15 years from now because you're making the sound. You're representing the sound. It was like, that sound is like 86.
It's the time. It's the timeless sound, man.
Yeah.
Like one of my dreams. I don't know who I was talking to, but they were talking about kind of being bridged or wedged in between two generations. It was a Netflix special I was watching. A comedian guy who was like 42, 43. He talked about being like not a millennial or not Gen X. And I kind of fall in that category where I'm just kind of like in between two generations.
Right.
And so
it's all make pretend anyways, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
It's like, yeah.
And I'm still kind of like at that point where no matter what's being talked about, I'm aware about it. Like I can talk to older crowds and younger crowds. I'm kind of like right in the middle of those generations. Or, when you start having discussions about music that you grew up on, people talk to you and they're like, oh yeah, I remember that. Younger people. So I'm like, yeah, all right. And I found myself trying to relive or recreate as much as the stuff that I fell in love with when I was younger, like in my music, like you were talking about with the mixtape, just modernizing the way that some of the older generation. That's our responsibility, right, as elders. Is that's the only way tradition survives. We can't just be like, we can't be stubborn and saying like this is our way of doing it and it's this way or else. But at the same time, we can't just give up on it either and just be like, nah. But we just got to find a way to connect the two.
It's that new bat.
Now you don't see parties where hip hop artists, the dancers, everybody coexist, right? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like everybody kind of like breaking off in their corner. You do your own.
Yeah.
Like, I'm SoundCloud. I'm gonna make music. I'm gonna rap, right? I dance. I'm gonna do TikTok. And TikTok is kind of helping us recreate where like the TikTokers need a song to do it to, right?
Yeah.
And so how do we recreate those venues where? And I'm trying to do it through visuals. You know what I'm saying? Where we all coexist together. The art. You think about what hip hop, how it mended it created a heartbeat for all these other cultures, for the b-boys, for the graffiti artists, for the DJ, and like all that kind of stuff. Trying to find ways, man, to recreate that because it's beautiful.
Absolutely. I mean, I tell people all the time, if you've never been to a b-boy jam, like a real b-boy jam, then you really don't understand hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna start doing TikTok parties.
There you go. Yeah.
I gotta get you on TikTok, obviously.
Yeah, I'm on TikTok. I don't know how to use it like at all. Like I don't even know how
I've made like 11 posts.
I started
all of my kids on TikTok and they send me TikTok. I got a group chat with my wife and all my kids. We communicate with each other and share jokes and stuff like that. And so they always sharing TikToks to the thread. And so in order for daddy to stay relevant, stay on what they on, I created me a little TikTok. And
Yo, I tell you what, I met a handful of amazing people through that app. Yeah. We'll have them come through the show, a few of them. A couple kids too, actually, just innovative people, just like, what happens is you build an algorithm that if you're true to it, you're watching things that you like, and it starts to really adjust, and people start coming to you that it's like, yo,
if you feed the beast,
feed the beast.
If you feed the beast, it shall come.
Right.
Feed the beast, and the beast shall come.
I'm gonna get back to that though. Once we get back on promo, now I'm putting shows together, man. Like today, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get so much done, and I did. Technically, I put a whole 15-minute set together, like crazy. I sent you an email with it too.
I know you sent something.
Effects all in there.
All right,
you know what I mean. I'm laying the verses out, but
nice. Always working.
But the thing is with social media, it's like there's a balance, of course, but there has to be a consistent daily. You got to have I had alarms popping off when I was doing it like full time, like trying to just start. You know what I mean? Yo, at 12 o'clock, whatever, something. This. You know what I mean? So every day, you're 7 days
that's
a week.
That's a whole job, bro.
It is, man, and especially now, I'm like, I don't want to start it and stop. So I'm just doing a post like a few times a week, and that's about it. But when the marketing
making me
comes
feel like I'm really slacking.
it's tough as an artist, because in your free time you rather be writing, recording, doing, you know what I mean. There's priorities, or in our case, mixing the album, getting the shows ready, show season starting,
writing some lyrics,
So. We're going to be hiring interns at some point real soon. I'll tell you that much right now.
And you just hit the nail on the head. I just had that same conversation with the homies that back at Freedom Corner. Like, they are like true like hit the pavement, get out there and get it, like super savvy, wise. But they kind of old school too in the sense that on social media thing. I'm like, yeah, we need some interns. We need somebody to come on board that's just all they do. The type of people that we talk about, like that's all you do is be on social media.
And
we need somebody like that.
Go ahead, bro.
Say Jay.
Oh, I was gonna say what's funny about it is it's really you find one good person and that's all you need.
That's what I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna say you watch what is it, Spider-Man, right? When Spider-Man and I forget which one it was in. It was before Homecoming when dude came in. He's like, "Yo, I need to be my what do they call him? The I forgot the name. Your computer guy. Everybody has to have that computer guy, but they call it a cooler name. I just forgot me. I always say it, but
graphic designer or something.
No. It's like it's not that. It's it's the guy who's always filling out the logistics. I need you to be my side wing computer man. Every superhero has one. And it's like Arrow. I'm always talking about
know
Arrow,
what you're
right?
talking about.
Felicity Smoke, right? You gotta have your.
He comes out and breaks it all the computer stuff.
And I'm saying, rappers are the equivalent of superheroes. Is the analogy I'm making, and it's like you have to have. Somebody like that. Shout out to Neo Matrix, by the way, who used to be that person for me back in the day. Shout out. But yeah, you have to have that person, because you can't be doing that yourself all the time.
What avenue did you take as far as having somebody, and what do you think is a reasonable investment into someone to be that person, or do you think it's worth it to say like, all right, I'm gonna put this person on a salary? And just like
I think it depends on how many things you got going on. Like Jay and I are talking about this a little bit too. Like at some point, I've went through different evolutions of having whether it's quasi personal managers, then legit managers, and then even flirting with the idea of going with an agency, right? And so I definitely surpassed the level of where I should have been with an agent many years ago and chose not to, right? And so just dealing with the math and being in my own head and being like, oh yeah. But the one thing that was always worth it was having somebody who could just be the yes or no person answering emails, right? So we've always had someone internally willing to help with that. But I've always had access to interns through. So I actually was a professor of the internships at an entertainment management program at one of the colleges I worked with. So I literally listed my own Professor Lyrical as one of those companies they could intern with. So intern's great, but the internship can't just be a fluffy, oh, we're going to call it an internship. Now, either pay them or have it be for school credit legitimately, right? So not just some like internship just because you get the pleasure of working with me kind of thing, because that's going to not go well. Meaning that you don't really have any authority over another person like that to be able to say, you know, for very long. And really you shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you see a lot of people I just feel from the student standpoint that a lot of students get abused by this kind of thing, you know, if it's not done properly. So you should go to your local college. They all have externship programs, and register your company, i.e. yourself or the LLC that you're with or Freedom Corner or something. Yeah. It's pretty easy to do. And it doesn't have to be right next door to you anymore in this era. You know, you can have someone doing, this is all digital work that can be done now. I mean, I say it's 90% digital work. So I would register with a school. I know a lot about that. I mean, I could help get that set up for y'all, but you can do that through, just look around any school that has an entertainment management program and just start recruiting people to do that and get them 3 credits for the class semester to semester. And if that's their trial period, right? And the whole idea with a lot of these externships or co-ops as they're called in many cases is that you can hire the person after that. After, you know, that 3 months, and I would say $15 an hour would be a perfect place to start, because it needs to be enough that the person takes it seriously, and that they're going to work a little bit harder. I mean, that's dependent on your location, but if it was, you know, like I would start at $15 an hour really for something like that. But you don't need them to work 100 hours. You know, it's like 10 hours a week is a lot of time, and you can go on many websites and you can hire yourself freelance anything, you know, all these sites out there, you know, Fiverr and all these other sites out there, you can go hire yourself a freelance anything, and it's cheap. People will, for like $100, you know, they'll be like, yo, I'll do X, Y, and Z. Well, they can be $10 an hour, literally, you know. When I did House of Lies, I hired for 1 week. I've never hired a publicist in my entire life, but I hired a dude who functioned as essentially a quote-unquote publicist. All he was really doing was I was using his contacts to actually send the video to a few people that I didn't have access to, and he did a great job. You know, I had him for 1 week do that. It was my stuff. I wrote it. It was my bio. It was my thing. It was my whatever. He tweaked a couple things that he for his connections, and I mean, I ended up paying the dude probably like $200 or something. You know what I'm saying? And it was like. And I did the same thing. You bid on it. I was like, yeah, $15 an hour would be cool, you know? And I was going to do like 8 hours at first. I think I did like 13 or something like that, you know? But $15 an hour, man, there's people out there, you don't even have to meet them. They don't have to be interns. But if you get a good intern, I'd keep them and bring them into the fold, you know?
Yeah, that's good. Well, listen, boys, I know for me, I got to be signing out here.
Oh, yeah, I got to run too, man. Definitely.
We definitely, man, yo, Fly. Yahweh. Be hitting you with that link every week, my brother.
Man, hit your boy up, man. I'll be getting out that thing, man. I'll be needing that break.
Yeah, man.
From all the crazy hustle and bustle. Like, I'll be leaving the restaurant at night, making that market, trying to get that marketing budget. Keep it on point.
Yeah.
Get out, man. I'll be tired. I'll be like, man, all right, I just need to clip my head. This is the perfect outlet, man.
There you go. There you go. We love having you too, man. You're part of the family. You already know that.
Always.
We gotta get that hat game working, man.
I'm just saying.
You got. Don't worry about it, bro. We gonna hit. I'm gonna be like at some point, yo. Fly,
they're extremely limited at this moment, but you know they're coming. You know,
they're coming. We're still fleshing a few things.
We're in that trial phase. Yeah.
You know, the hat though is ready.
Yeah,
that is ready. Yo, I need something on top of this. You know,
well, I'll tell you what.
That's the home haircut. Look, I missed. Oh no, that's the headphone thing, but that's the. I was like, yo, I missed. You know,
yeah, what headphone press you with? You know, it's we got the format. The format that you got, Pro, on the hat. That's like the form. That's the text, the font, the size, the spacing. I love all that thing. So I mean, I don't think we got to make too many tweaks.
But if you want to write "Forever Lives Yahweh" on a hat, you got some work to do. You better stick with Fly, man. I'm looking at that banner right there. I'm like, yo. You got to do a full wraparound.
You'd have to have it on the back, "Forever Lives Yahweh," and then like just Fly on the front.
You need a shirt that just has, you know, the marquee where it just keeps digitally going, like, you know.
Let me show you this though. Hold on.
Yeah, he's for real. Got it.
He's like, I already got you. I got 6 versions.
Like, no, I got you with that already. He's
Fly on top of it, man. He on top of it. Yo, I thought I'm glad we played something tonight because I'm like, yo, we didn't play no mute, but it's
Oh
all
man,
good.
yeah.
This was a jam-packed night of festive things, man. We
Absolutely.
had the girls come in with good, yo,
We
Lino.
wined and dined. Yeah, that seems like an eternity ago.
It
So I'm
does.
definitely going F.L.Y, right? That's like
Okay.
But I gotta
Oh,
that's ill.
That's
yeah,
crispy.
I've seen.
I think
seen
we need
that.
a hat exchange. Is all we need to do.
this is actually
But if I wear that around here and I'm walking, like people out walking the dog, they're gonna think I'm come knocking on their door to try to give them a pamphlet.
it's a Christian urban outfitter.
Ooh, that's a name.
Based out of Austin, Texas, that makes all apparel, like everything. He has all those symbols, right? But like everything he has that has Yahweh in, I buy it. Like,
that's dope. All right, I got you. I see what you're doing.
Oh, that's
You can just partner up. Partner up.
All right, so you with me, right? You know, I ain't gotta try to reinvent the wheel.
That's right.
And then, so I got a logo too.
That's your logo.
And the best part is, Yahweh ain't coming to file charges. You know what I'm saying? There's no patent.
Nah, yeah, exactly. Instead of Armageddon, bro, you straight.
Jesus ain't coming until exactly. I was gonna say, and if he does, we're all in trouble. If we all getting lifted up and the clothes are falling off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Bro, why don't we take him out? Why don't we put? I mean, might as well just to either He Prays or Freedom Corner. Maybe.
Let's play some He Prays. Let's play some He Prays.
He Prays.
Yo, He Prays. By the way, we're gonna let everybody know, right? It's gonna have a scratch in it. It's gonna have a scratch in it. It's just
get down.
Get down. Get down. All right. So yeah, it's
and this one produced by my man Genesis 7 Productions, Reg. And of course we got opening the track, Professor Lyrical, Pro Lyrical. We got
I hadn't heard
Jay Cruz in it. Oh, you haven't heard it yet?
No,
okay.
Oh man.
And then we got Fly. We said that the other day. We were like, "Yo, man, we got Fly on the third verse and everyone." But I'm like, "Yo, at least he went Jedi on each of them, so it's okay."
So the key here is Fly is that you have to understand that He Prays comes right before the devil's dancing. You see what we did there,
bro?
See what we did there?
I like that.
The playlist is ridiculous. All right, but look, boys, I'm gonna say peace out, love y'all. I'm gonna mute myself, stop the camera.
All right.
And
all right, we'll go out with this.
All right, yeah, Fly. We see you on Sunday anyway, man. You can dial into that on
Peace.
Sunday. All right, brother.
Hit your knees real quick. Yeah. Hit your knees real quick. Hit your knees real quick. Pro Quo. Hit your knees real quick. Let's skip the pleasantries. I'm more about that action as the remedy. To me, that's that heavenly blessing. I question everything with faith that it will work out. I work so mentally, cause deities to me have never been really about that equity. Create my destiny. Watch the world open sesame. Since y'all been watching Sesame Street on beats incessantly. Professing these gems in the streets before my specialty. Spitting mathematics in class, my rap is therapy. Incredibly, rose through the ranks with growth steadily. My comrades falling off the felonies like leprosy. Treachery and jealousy catching up something terribly. Many brothers questioningly gone, them John Kennedys. Been an accessory, longing for them accessories. Long as me alone, been bought up and had the recipe. Word to my enemies, I heard them say, if y'all ain't praying in this game, you better be ready to be prayed.
He prays.
Hit your knees real quick. Hit your knees real quick. Hit your knees real quick. Get down. Get down.
Hit your knees real quick.
Get down.
Get your knees real quick.
Get down.
Hit your knees real quick.
Lyrical and vocal scratch.
Hit your knees real quick.
Yeah, hit your knees real quick. Get blessed cause I be that slick. In my phone pout where I see you think. EQ the words, we don't need that drink. Fight through the urge, grown man instinct. It's consequential that I lead that rink. Armor loaded with the kinks, so I feed that sink. A lot of tears, rap pain, sure we need that mint. Self over everything, I see that link. Ghosts leaving footsteps, don't need no shrink. Been the pill before Phil, that's the book I print. Run the court like Phil, that's the mail I sing. Everything kept real, that's some 90s tip. No grips with the lip, BL's a fear my root. Close my lips, say a prayer, then I do my shit.
Hit your knees real quick. 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 Hit your knees real quick.
Look, I pray, and I don't mean predator. Bombard heaven, hoping God help me level up. Say they digging God till it's time to pick that shovel up. Faith in no work is like Now I just finesse away the bull like a matador. I know what they mad for, it don't even matter. Got the adversary peed off like a bladder. Hit him with the flex, making hits like a batter. Climbing to the top and I don't even need a ladder. I pray.
Hit your knees real quick.
Yeah.
Hit your knees real quick. Hit your knees real quick. Hit your knees real quick.
Get down.
Hit your knees real quick.
Get into the way.
Hit your knees real quick. Hit your knees real quick.
Yeah.
Make sure you hit the knees real quick.
Fly. Got the adversary peed off like a bladder. Oh, I forgot. See that follow-up right there?
The devils.
Have you heard this track yet?
Approach the verse like we at church. Scope the perps. Meet our first. Need our curse. Hell hex 'em. All the woes at work. Posing shirts. Guns and turfs. Blunts and serves. And my stirrups. Gots to make it hearse. She goes skin. A white earth. The most grim. That's a 10. Pay a nurse. I lay burst with a nurse. It's complex. The context. A real nice. A bad flex. A high price. A Learjet. The facts twice. Half-life, act right, my pants tight, connect mics, your windpipe, recite crews, all quotes, bring life, all quotes, bring life. I'm day and night, sun and moon, wolf and sheep, a young shepherd above the tomb, making room, your son's reckless, peep the metrics, the son's necklace on these presses. Say a prayer, believe, knowledge off a tree for thieves, Judas by the branches. The devil's dancing on the floor now. The devil's dancing, knocking at your door now. The devil's dancing, everybody on the floor now. The devil's dancing, knocking at your door now. Whenever you in a good place, you better believe the devil is dancing. A good place, no one believed the devil was dancing. Got good taste, many give paid the devil's ransom. While simply thinking and hanging up, or Rembrandt in the mansion. Judas repenting, returning them 30 pieces of silver now. You're doing that music, trying to recoup it, feeling so foolish now. Who's in town? You better be ready to pay the piper. Pit vipers, spit venomous, don't let it inside of your cipher. Them Charles Mansons from the advancing at the outset. Got you doing the dirty work, looking all handsome in the outfits. You still doubt it, staying devoted, you been since the onset. But your dog is not your amigo when you're deceiving, your words are offset. Time to divorce that mindset with the raw shit. Test by leaving this ink all over the paper, then I record that. Tally results, removing the doubt, then take my chances. The devil was over my head instead, now Lord applause who's dancing. The devil's dancing on the floor now. The devil's dancing, knocking at your door now. The devil's dancing, everybody on the floor now. The devil's dancing, knocking at your door now.
You know.
Bro, that's the way to take it out of here.
Yeah, man.
I love it. Holla at you boys, man. Sunday.
Always, man. Good seeing you, man. Yeah, we'll see you Sunday, man.
All right, bro.
All right, y'all. Peace. We out.